Warning! The following episode of Orsini's Uncensored Mind contains explicit language and adult content. The thoughts and opinions stated on this show are reflective of AZ Orsini, the Steve Dave, and their guests exclusively. Seriously, guys, my dada and uncle say some pretty crazy stuff. If it offends you, go be butthurt somewhere else.
Welcome to Orsini's Uncensored Minds, and now your host, AJ Orsini with Dave.
Hey guys, welcome back everybody. Welcome back to another edition, another episode of Orsini's Uncensored Mind, episode 316. Dun 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 dun. This is episode 316. Oh, hell yeah. And I'm not alone. Don't let the question mark fool you, Dave. Are you there?
Yeah.
We are at episode 316, baby. That is for the man himself. The toughest SOB in the history of the WWE. Stone Cold Steve Austin's magical numbers. We are here today, as you put it before we went on the air, to talk our shit. We are going to talk our shit today. You see, they say that those who live in a glass house shall not throw stones. Well, I've got 22 years under my belt, so I get to throw all the stones I wish. The
Pretty
judgment.
sure that's not how that goes, but yeah. Fuck it, it's your show, dude.
I'm spitting it. I'm spitting it. I am a man of virtue, and thus have earned the right to cast my judgment upon thee. Oh, so much to get to. Also, I have an apology to make, and I'm going to make the apology to the Squad of O right when we get into what's going to be on the show today. So let's talk about what's going to be on the show today.
Come on, don't keep us waiting. What's going to happen on the show today?
For the first time in OUM Network history, it took 316 episodes to get here, but the day's finally here. We will discuss something involved with Coldplay. And it won't be music. So for those of you who hear those words and instantly start fast forwarding, don't worry about it. We're not talking about the music. Some shit went down. I didn't actually care about this all that much when it first happened, but it has exploded into a ball of hilarity. And I must increase my bust. We must talk about the thing that went down at the Coldplay concert with the goddamn Kiss Cam. The death of all those who are in the world of adultery. Also, I thought it'd be nice to pick up the positivity pace a little bit, get a little cheery, because we've had some fun on the show as it relates in the past to food. We've had some fun with food in the past, and today we're going to have a little bit more fun with food. As a matter of fact, we're talking sweets. We're talking candies. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty, the overall best. What's the best chocolate bar, the best sour candies, the best gummies? There's so much to discuss when it comes to the best of candies. And we're going to narrow it down here on this episode of OUM. And we're not going to do too much on this. This really will be short. If anything, I'm doing this more for the record keeping. This is more for the YouTube, because next week is going to be the debut of the Unreal documentary by WWE. I absolutely have strong feelings about this. I want to get it out into the ether before it drops for real. And since next week we have the live show, well, we're not going to be talking about Unreal during the live show. So we're probably going to have to wait a week, which is perfectly fine. It gives me time to sit down and actually fucking watch it. But I want to put some thoughts on paper. I want to put some thoughts on record until I see it. so that I can see if it either changes my mind or if it proves me right. We'll see. But we're going to discuss that a little bit here today. And a good chunk, a majority of today's show will not be one continuous clip. It's going to be split up into all types of different things. I made some serious miscalculations. This is where the apology comes in. Because we skipped the week that we did, it kind of threw everything into a whirlwind, and then I threw the live show at us at the end of the month as well. So my plan for our Summerslam moments are kind of being thrown into disarray, but I do want them out there for public consumption. So instead of last week we did 2019, 18, 17, 16, we were going to split it up to do it more spaced out, but we're running out of time to do them. So fuck it. We're going to throw all the shit against the wall. You're going to get all 15 here today. We're going to knock it all out today. This is going to be a pre-SummerSlam edition of the SummerSlam episode. That's going to happen absolutely next week on the live. I can't wait. I'm excited. We're going to have a familiar face, and we're going to have a brand new face on the show. An old pal of mine. I'll save the surprise from when we get on the actual show. But that's what we're doing here today. Now, before we get into everything that we just discussed, I have a quick question for you, Dave. I have a quick question for you because I had made mention to you, I think about a week now. I mentioned to you something about K-pop Demon Hunters on Netflix. You remember that?
Yes.
Have you guys gotten a chance to sit down and watch that yet?
No.
Okay, all right.
She did make mention on her own that she feels like she kind of wants to watch it.
Is that Nora who said that?
Yeah.
Okay. So when I first mentioned it to you, I said, hey, this thing is really starting to get some buzz. Alex didn't want to see it at all. He saw the trailer and just went, I am good. But I know he's musical like me. So I was like, no, I think we should give it a chance. Da-da-da. That was like 2 weeks ago. He hasn't stopped singing since. He has all the words memorized. Mind you, some of those words are in Korean. And he's doing the dance steps. It's all over the place. When I go to work, the kids play all of the music. It is everywhere. They're not even it's an animated movie, and the soundtrack from the animated movie is getting all kinds of buzz. It's #1 on the Billboard chart. The two important songs from the soundtrack, Your Idols, which was from the Villain Guys, the boy band, and Golden, which is from the girl group Huntrix, both are exchanging #1 spots on the Billboard Top 100. This is exploding into a full-blown fucking phenomenon. At first, it was just something for us to watch on Netflix. It is fucking everywhere now. I can't shake it. We were in traffic the other day, and we heard it coming out of somebody else's car.
It's crazy work.
All over the place. This thing has absolutely exploded, and I'm here for it because the music is fucking amazing. I'm super excited. Just wanted to throw that out there for people because if you haven't had a chance to see it, the hype is real. This movie it's actually pretty good. It's actually pretty good. It's a good story, but it is also a musical. They're going to break into song, but the songs are hype. They're pretty good songs. So just throwing that out there for people. Don't let the corniness of the animation and everything fool you. It's actually pretty good. But that's spitballing. Let's get into our first segment.
Let's begin segment 1.
Oh baby, segment 1. Listen. I can do this. I am allowed. I am allowed to do this. I am allowed to be a part of the group. Finally, for once, I am a part of the rebellion here. I'm on the opposite side, okay? Coldplay. The Coldplay concert. Everyone's talking about it. It's all over the place. The memery is absolutely 100% real. It is all over the place. It's all anybody can talk about. This has to be one of the silliest and dumbest possible ways that you could get caught doing some stupid shit. This has got to be right up there with one of the dumbest things you can possibly do. The absolute arrogance to believe that you can bring your side bitch to a fucking concert filled with thousands of people while you're
You
in
would
the
have got
business.
away with it too if it wasn't for that stupid Kiss Cam.
Yeah, the fuck of all the places for the Kiss Cam to go. How many times does the Kiss Cam actually go to the suites? That rarely ever happens. Kiss Cam is
To
for
be
the
fair, I haven't been to many Coldplay concerts, or
yeah.
would you consider them a couple band? Like, I don't know. But to me, I wouldn't think there would be a Kiss Cam
Yep.
at a Coldplay concert.
That's
more of a sports thing.
Yes, that is the other part of it that I kind of wanted to bring up because I've never heard of a concert doing a Kiss Cam in the first place.
I don't see Coldplay as the relationship band.
They're like the date band, right? Like you take the date out for the fucking show or whatever.
No, but I mean like their music.
Yeah.
Like, what song did they get the Kiss Cam off on?
It was if I'm not mistaken, I didn't see the full show, but by the tenor of the song that was being played when they did it, sounds like they were kind of in between songs, and he had an acoustic guitar. So this is the part of the show where they slow it down a little bit.
My God, that's even crazier. Dude. Can you imagine trying to be in the back room? You guys are talking about your concert, and you want to innovate. How about do something no one ever done? A Kiss Cam.
Let's do
it somewhere.
And what makes it kind of even worse, if you really want to think about it, what makes it even worse?
I don't, but we can.
Yeah, let's make it worse. When they put the camera on them, and that immediate reaction of her just, oh my God, like covering her face, and he just kind of sat down. The singer, what was his name? Chris Martin or something like that? The singer from Coldplay, he goes, well, they're either having an affair or they're really shy. Like, it's the first one, my dude. It's the first one.
Okay. So I heard those in the jokes, and I thought that was a voiceover for the jokes. He really said that live?
I believe he did say that live, bro.
Oh, God. If he did, that's crazy.
But to be fair, he's probably making a joke himself, right? I think in the moment, I don't even think he believed it was an affair or situation. He was just trying to be funny. Where he's just like, yeah, they're either having an affair or they're just really shy. He probably just thought they were really shy. Nope, it's the first one. They're having an affair.
What was that old shit? Bitch, you guessing. You guess right.
You guessing, but you guessed right.
You guessed right, dude.
Oh my God.
Cheating.
So the reason why we're bringing this story up, because I'll be honest with all of you, I could give two shits whether or not these individuals are okay or not okay or whatever the fuck. Their business is their fucking business. What I'm talking about here, the reason why we're bringing it up is because this has become, like I said at the beginning of this, the memery is real. I mean, everyone is jumping all over this. They are jumping all over the idea that this individual, this is a CEO, by the way. This isn't like two people having, this isn't your regular average, couple figuring it out and they're in between, whatever. This is the guy in the video. His name is Andy Byron. He's the CEO of some company. He's an astronomer. And the lady that he's with is his chief human resources officer, Kristen Cabot. And there's no way around it. He's got her in that cradle, that bear hug. She's sitting there feeling ultra safe. His big meaty man hands wrapping her up, listening to the smooth jams.
The classic bear hug from the back. Just
back.
Enough to enjoy the music.
Yeah.
And she can press against your print.
Yeah, there you
she
go.
know what she finna get later.
And that's
a little semi-hard, but you got dick control, so you're not fully brick.
There you go.
That's what that
brick.
hug was.
Yeah, not a full brick.
You give her just a little chub. Something to really clinch the cheeks on.
Yeah,
but nothing like she know there's more coming.
Yeah, you're not sexually harassing her, but you are giving her the trailer before the movie. All right, this is what you're working with, miss. Drink accordingly. You know what I'm saying? Like be ready. So the everyone's jumping online about this. This has been the joke of the goddamn day. The Philly Fanatics are recreated it at a baseball game. There was a stadium somewhere that actually wrote it on the screen. It said Coldplay Kiss Cam, where they were showing couples on the screen that were also hugging, but they had to react like the couple from Coldplay. So it's like it's getting for real. and these people, the people who are, the lives that we're talking about, the gentleman in question is not very happy. I think there was some talk. I'll look it up here to confirm real quick while we're talking about it. But it looks like he wants to sue Coldplay.
Oh, dude,
this is a real thing. Let me see. I'm going to confirm it.
Hey, listen, buddy, fucking CEO, little bitch from some astronomy company. Listen, you gotta take your L, just like the dude who works at the bus stop, or drives a bus, or wherever he works. That's not a CEO of a company. You gotta take your L, dude. You don't get to take your millions of dollars and fucking sue somebody because you just took an L and you got caught. Go home and figure it out.
Well, we got it here. I looked it up. It's page6.com is one of the articles that I'm looking at. There are several, but page 6 as an association to the New York Post, ex-astronomer, because as the CEO of the company, when this thing broke, he resigned. So he's no longer is the CEO of that company. So it says ex-astronomer. Dude, this does not look good. Ex-astronomer CEO Andy Byron could sue Coldplay due to the massive fallout from his Kiss Cam fiasco with his former colleague Kristen Cabot, a legal expert confirms, but he'd have to get really, quote, creative. If we are getting creative, a possible claim could be for defamation, specifically as it relates to Chris Martin characterizing the two as having an affair. That comment, I told you, that comment he made on the thing. That comes from attorney Cameron Delawesha from MSD Lawyers, exclusively telling Page 6 Tuesday, defamation is a statement, either written or verbal, that injures a third-party reputation. When Byron and Cabot hid in shame after they were caught canoodling, there you go. That might be the whitest way to describe that in the history of whiteness. They were canoodling at Coldplay's concert near Boston last week. Martin, 48, told fans over the mic, either they're having an affair or they're just very shy. Yes, that was the quote. The lawyer explains that in order for Byron to prove the sky full of stars singer's remarks were defamatory, he would have to prove that there wasn't an affair. Uh-oh. I was just going to say, you know what the best defense for defamation is? The truth. So let's see here. I lost my place. So they said they would have to prove in court. They would have to prove in court that Martin knew or should have known that the disgraced CEO was not cheating, but made the statement anyway with malice. How are they going to prove that?
He can't. Fucking stupid.
None of those elements.
Go take your L, stupid.
This makes it worse. This makes it so much worse because it keeps them in the news. You're
making it worse.
Yeah,
you really are.
You're making it so much worse. None of these elements will be met, so any claim against Coldplay would be frivolous, as the lawyer says. Points out before highlighting yet another reason Byron would likely abstain from legal action. I also very much doubt that Mr. Byron would want further public scrutiny by bringing a borderline frivolous suit against the the event organizers and or Coldplay. Which, for the record, there were a lot of people talking about, they were kind of praising Coldplay for this. And I was like, I don't think they had a choice in who got on the Kiss Cam. They didn't control the goddamn cameras. How the fuck were they supposed to know?
They're the big name. It's their show.
It's their show, yeah, but they're not in control of the goddamn Kiss Cam. They didn't tell them to shoot that suite up top. Jesus Christ. But yeah,
no, that's you're fucking idiot. Like, my thing is the people's reaction to this now. From the stuff that I'm looking at is like fun, right. But there are like Reddits and stuff where people talking about like it's not this like this is not shocking to me. You know what I mean? Like CEO, like they do this shit all the time. So I was kind of blown away with like how big this story got, and then I started seeing the jokes, and I was like, oh, okay, this is classic internet.
Yeah. I'm assuming that's why it got so much attention was because of all the jokes. Because of everybody chiming in and, doing their part to make sure these motherfuckers never live this shit down for as long as they fucking live. Which is amazing to me, how all this is keep happening. But allow me to continue just a little bit. The only thing a lawsuit by Byron would accomplish is that it would keep his indiscretion in the news for much longer, adding that it is extremely unfair that Byron has a valid claim against Coldplay. Martin's comments fall far short of the threshold for defamation. For one thing, even if this statement is interpreted as a factual statement about their affair, it appears to be true. Now, that's a big question, right? When it comes to defamation, that's entirely true. You need to be able to prove... Oop, I hit a button. You need to be able to prove if this person willingly did that. So I'm going to... I didn't put it in the rundown because I didn't see it until yesterday. But I'm going to pull this up real quick because I thought this was hilarious. So, for everyone wondering, yes, he was caught. Yes, red-handed. There's no doubt about it. Where do we go from here? Allow me to take you to the social media page of Mrs. Byron, the wife of the CEO, because she posted a really cool picture of her out to lunch, wine, sunset. She's looking snazzy.
Unbothered.
Yeah, by the way, the wife is way hotter than the other lady, but that's a conversation for another day. She made this post. Hello. My name is Megan Kerrigan, no longer Megan Byron. Today, I officially dropped his last name, and while it may seem like just a formality to some, to me, it was closure. I didn't make this decision out of bitterness. I made it out of peace. I gave my heart, my loyalty, and my name to a man who couldn't even respect me in private, let alone in public. The betrayal was painful, but the public humiliation... well, that cut deeper than anything. Watching the man I love kiss another woman, not behind closed doors, but at a concert, in front of thousands, while the world recorded it like entertainment. That was the moment everything changed. I won't drag his name. I don't need to. No, miss, you don't. The world saw what I saw. This post isn't for pity, it's for power. I removed Byron, not because I lost something, but because I have finally found myself again. This post, I found myself again, and I'm not going back. Megan Kerrigan.
You know what that says to me?
That's the second L.
No, you want to know what that means to me?
That means someone's going.
Fuck this guy. I've been disliked him, and now we up. Because even if there was a prenup, there's one thing that can break a prenup, and that's infidelity.
Yeah. Someone is about to get paid.
That sounds to me like we up, boys.
Yeah.
Shades on. Take my half. Fuck this dude. I disliked him to begin with. I was only staying with him for the kids.
So that smile. If you can see the picture, that is the smile of a woman who just found out she is about to get paid. She is going all the way. And this is an easy opening cut case of infidelity right here. It's a done deal. Look at that picture, that face of these two individuals. Yeah, so he lost his job. He lost his wife. Chances are he's probably not going to be able to go back to the mistress. So that's 3 strikes, brother. You are out. Imagine going to Coldplay for entertainment and just getting your life ruined. Because of a night out. That is insane. And it's in record time. That Coldplay shit just happened like a week ago. His life crumbled before his fucking eyes so fast. It's kind of insane. Whew. Coldplay Kiss Cam, folks. Any other comments, or are we going to move on?
He's fucked.
Oh, one more thing. Actually, we've seen some of the videos. We've seen some of the memes. But one more aspect that has been absolutely fucking killing me is the fucking the AI that has occurred online, because this is a new thing now with the AI, right? They can do all this really cool stuff with the AI stuff. But I have got to send you. Hold on 1 second. I don't. It's in the Facebook. Download. Nope. I don't even know where it is. Oh, here it is. Yes, I'm gonna send this to you right now so that you can see it. And this is all happening live. Because I forgot to send it to you, but I'm gonna send it to you right now. These are some. I sent it to your text messages, but I'm gonna read it. What I'm looking at here, live as it happens, but it's supposed to be sending to you. There we go. Off the top, the deep fakes that we've seen, we've got Chewbacca getting caught with Indiana Jones, as opposed to Han Solo. That's a dope one. The fucking Xenomorph and and Ripley getting caught together at the Coldplay concerts. Obi-Wan Kenobi and Padme being caught at the Coldplay concert. Charlie Sheen in his trusty bag of crack cocaine. Another Xenomorph, but this time being embraced from behind by the Predator.
It makes sense.
Luigi and Peach getting caught behind Mario's back. Look at this. Chris Rock and Jada Pinkett is so fucking diabolical. It's crazy. Oh, the Wendy's guy and Ronald McDonald, although he does look terrified. And of course, the finale.
Wendy's, that's the Burger King.
That's
dude.
what I say? I said Wendy's? My bad. That is the Burger King, yes.
That's not Dave.
That's not Dave. Dave Thomas, baby. And of course, the finale, Diddy with his giant bottle of Johnson & Johnson baby oil, baby. That is absolutely fucking peak shit right here.
That last one's whack because he would never look surprised. He'll own that job.
He's got a straight face. He's embracing. He's
Happy.
embracing.
He might fucking kiss on the Kiss Cam.
He might do more shit on the Kiss Cam, not for nothing.
Yeah, he might.
He's
he
a
might
free.
bust that bottle
He's a
open.
free man. He just beat the feds. That next freak off is gonna be crazy, son.
Celebratory freak off.
Celebratory. Yeah, you know what's funny? Now that it's out in the open, and I don't want to transition into Diddy, but now that that's also kind of a funny story because now that that's out in the open, what's the stop? Why would you stop doing them now? Everyone's on board.
They just went up. They just went up.
Oh yeah.
His stock just went up.
This is exclusive now.
He's like, you been to a Diddy party? Yeah, no, not like a Diddy party, but like the freak offs. Yeah, I've been to one. It's like pre lawsuit or like post, and they got crazy. They got nutty.
Now you got to bring your own baby oil.
Oh shit!
Yeah, because he's
BYO.
Look, that's what I'm saying. He used to provide for everybody.
BO.
Yeah, he used to provide for everybody. He was trying to be a gracious host, but look what happened when he stocked up.
Ungrateful.
Yeah, he's
unfucking grateful.
He stocked up on the goddamn baby oil, and he got caught looking like a fucking asshole with 4,700 bottles of baby oil. So now he's like, all right, fuck that. I'm gonna keep the regular amount of baby oil in my house. So that means if y'all come in, y'all gotta bring your own baby oil. That's it. We're not hoarding that shit no more. Cause y'all got me out here looking goofy with all these goddamn baby oils. I think Dave Chappelle said it best. He goes, I don't think I've ever thrown away an empty bottle of baby oil in my life. He said, if I went to my mother's house, it's the same baby oil from when I was a kid sitting in that fucking bathroom. He's like, how the fuck you have 1,000 bottles of baby oil? That's probably the only thing that can save Coldplay Kiss Cam guy right now. Is if something else fucking pops off. He needs something huge right now to take him out of the goddamn news. But he's lost so much. He's lost everything. This man, he's lost everything. He lost his job. He lost his wife, who's about to take him for everything that he's got. So he's going to lose his wealth. He's probably not getting the mistress back. It's all gone. His life is fucking over. That is it. It's done. That's crazy. I'm not gonna lie. That's gonna be a tough rebuild, especially in his field. Like he got, he didn't get fired. They let him resign, which is, term for he was going to get fired anyway, so he just walked away. But yeah, this is a tough time for him. So we're going to move on to the next. I'm going to let this boy live a little while longer, but if they still making jokes, we'll come back. Because I want to see what else happens. I hope he goes through with the lawsuit. I just want to see some funny shit. All right, next segment.
Next up, segment 2.
Before we begin here, let me just say that I'm considering myself in this particular subject over the hill. Over the hill. I'm considering myself over the hill. I feel like I'm past my prime when it comes to conversations about candy. I feel like that's a young man's game, you know? It's for the children's, the candies, you know? My son doesn't do well with candy, right? Every year for Halloween, we get a giant big bag. He goes trick-or-treating, he gets the candies, and then that bag sits in my living room for 2 consecutive fucking years, completely unfucking touched. And then we end up throwing it out, and then we go out for Halloween and get more fucking candy, and then that candy does its shift of being there for like 2 fucking years, completely untouched. So we're not huge on candy here in this house. How is the candy situation over there? You guys got any sweet teeth over there?
I don't until I do.
Okay.
Like if it's in the house, I'm gonna eat it, and yeah. So the first time she went trick or treating, she had a pretty decent bucket, and we went through the good shit, got down to like the candy corn and stuff, and then threw it out. Well, I'll eat it. That's the problem. I don't like it in the house because it'll be 11 o'clock at night, and I stand up and I'm hungry and I want food, but there's nothing quick to make, and there it is, bucket of candy. So I start fucking shoveling it in, dude. It's not good. I don't like it in the house.
It fucks with you. Is it the temptation of it?
It's just quick, and it's not even like I regret eating it once I'm done. But it's just like it's quick. It's right there. You can grab it.
You feel like
nice little sugar rush.
like
get
a
some
dirty
water.
You feel like a dirty whore when you eat it.
It feels disgusting eating candy, dude.
You feel filthy.
People shouldn't be eating this shit.
Says the grown mature adult, but as a would 11-year-old Dave feel the same way about candy?
Yes.
Because you've been.
I wasn't a candy person.
You've been an old man your whole life.
Salty person. I was chips.
That's actually
keep a bag of chips in the house.
Oh yeah. All right. No, I can confirm that
Yeah.
one. All right.
Yeah.
I liked my fair share of candy when
But
I
I
was a
get
kid.
down with
for
some
sure.
baby Ruths, some Butterfingers.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
All right. We've got some personal favorites here. Oh, okay. All right.
Anything peanut butter is on the list.
Okay. Well, I found some information for us. I did a little bit of the research, and I wound up on a website that is actually pretty cool. It's called candycopia.com, and they have a blog section. And in their blog section, which have what's the article here? It's called The Ultimate Ranking of the Best Candy in the World. And it was published May 29th, 2025, so a mere 2 months ago this thing came out. And in the description it says, in a world filled with sweet temptations, finding the absolute best candy can feel like searching for treasure. Whether you're a chocolate enthusiast, a sour candy fanatic, or someone with a penchant for chewy gummies, the comprehensive ranking of the world's best candies will satisfy your curiosity and perhaps your sweet tooth too. This listing is based on consumer polls, sales data, and expert opinions from 2025. We've compiled the definitive list of the most beloved candies across the globe. So before we get into the overall list, you said it yourself 2 seconds ago. You said you were more of a salty guy. You like the chips, right? Yeah. I not so much the candy with like the sweet, like the Skittles or the Starburst, and I definitely not huge on the sours. That's where my son is. He's a sour guy. That shit that makes your face look like a butthole. You just pucker. That's the shit he gets into. He puts the sour drops on shit. He's a fucking psycho.
and my wife, they just eat lemon, the most sour lemon candy you can find.
Jesus Christ, psychotic. I don't understand why you put your body through that.
My wife took one of the extreme, like whatever the big, extreme, extra sour warhead lemon, put that shit in her mouth and goes, "It's all right. It's kind of sour."
Nor said
"You
that?
are a fuck." Yes, I said, "You are a fucking psychopath." And then she's like, "It's not that bad." Look, she gave it to my daughter. My daughter put it in her mouth. She made a quick face, looked at her, looked at my wife, and said, "More?" I said, "Yo, I'm moving. You guys are gonna kill me. Fuck that."
Oh shit. Well, according to this list, I'm gonna start. I don't know if you have it in front of you, but that's okay. I'm gonna kind of go bottom up because the up is the old. No, not the overall list. I'm going a little further, where it says global candy favorites. Just really quickly. Because this is a global list, so I just really quickly wanted to go through some of the ones that they did the research on. Like for instance, in Switzerland is home to some of the world's finest chocolate brands. Like, how do you pronounce that? Is that Lindt? It's like Lind and then there's a T, Lindt. The Toblerone and Nestle. Now Nestle is a powerhouse. That's not some mom and pop chocolate place. That's the real deal. That's as close to Wonka as we're gonna get. It's fucking Nestle. I know Hershey's up there too, but Nestle, bro, for the world, Nestle, crazy. Anybody that can have their headquarters in PA, I don't know. I don't take it that seriously. Sweden is big on salt licorice and sour skull candies, and have developed a global following thanks to social media exposure. So they like the salt licorice, which I've never heard of those two together. Salty licorice.
Sweden.
But Sweden, yeah, the sour skull candies I get. Mexico, they have a bunch of Mexican things here. Dulce de tamarindo, which is the tamarind candies. They also like pulparindo, which offers a sweet, sour, and spicy combination unique to Mexican candy culture.
That actually sounds like it might be pretty good.
Okay, but here's the deal. Are you big on...
The spicy's a good mix in there.
I was just going to say, are you into spicy?
It depends how it's done.
Okay.
I don't like cinnamon spicy, although that tends to be where the spice comes from in most of these situations.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, have you been to Mexico? Because I know you've traveled around, but I was wondering if Mexico was on that list. Okay, the one time that I was in Mexico, I found out very quickly what the environment when it comes to spicy is like. When they say spicy, they mean spicy, and it's in. I went to the store just to get something like a snack or a beverage or something. This was the first time in my life I had ever seen spicy Snickers.
Ooh.
I'd never seen it in my life. And I was like...
Did you try it?
No. I was scared to death. No fucking way.
I would have.
For two reasons. A, I don't know how my taste buds are going to react. And B, I was afraid to liking it because I don't know what's going to do to my belly. And I'm not trying to have the shits in Mexico. So I said,
fuck that. I'm about to Amazon. I know I can Amazon it.
That was the first time I had ever seen that. That's crazy. So in the UK, obviously the classic, the Cadbury dairy milk dominates the British market with its distinctive creamy milk chocolate recipe. Obviously, Cadbury eggs, huge in Britain. Japan, this is the last one on the global list. Japan, Kit Kat reigns supreme here.
Really?
With hundreds of unique flavors like matcha, sakura, and wasabi that aren't available anywhere else.
Wasabi sounds like it'd be delicious.
Oh, another spicy version, but this time with Kit Kat. Look at that.
Yeah.
So
I don't think it's... So that's the thing with the wasabi. Like, there's variations of spice. Like, there's some that aren't really even that spicy at all.
I only had wasabi once and never again, my friend. Never again. I cried like a little girl.
You must have had what I heard is called the real wasabi and not that fake bullshit that you get in, like... most sushi restaurants, that's not really spicy at all.
Based on my reaction, I hope it was the real one. I hope it wasn't the fake one, and I was just a total asshole about it.
Real bitch, huh?
Oh, real bitch, yes. Real big one. So those were just some of the things that they researched as far as the global. Let's take us now to the first list. This is the top 5 of the best hard candies. So this is your these are the hard candies that you find in the stores, and this is again global market. They're going by sales and they're going by all kinds of different metrics. I explained that all in the beginning. So best hard candies, number 5, Brax Star Brights. I had to look this up because I was like, the Brax makes sense. What the fuck is a Star Bright? So I had to look that one up, and I mean, just pull it up one more time so I can be refreshed, so I can describe it, because it just, I remember the Brax logo. This is basically the Star Brights are the peppermint candies, the white ones with the red stripes on them. They says peppermint on the back. I didn't know they were called Star Brights. I was confused.
Wait, the white candy with the red stripe, the peppermints, really?
Yeah,
those are called Star Brights.
This is the same fucking it's the same shit.
I don't know, peppermint candies as I know them.
Here, I'm sharing the screen now. You see?
Yeah,
these are the classics. I didn't know they were called Star Brights. I know they're Brax. I didn't know they were called Star Brights.
Yeah, that's my shit. I love those.
You love those?
Oh yeah, I love those.
That's my shit. I love that. Number 4, Dum Dums. I get it. I get it.
Little lollipops, right?
Yeah, the little small ones. So I get those. I mean, that's
my daughter's got a bag of like 1,000 of them. I'm
yeah,
not
I
even
know.
fucking kidding.
Yeah, those Dum Dums saved my life when my wife was giving birth to my son, because she was down in them shits like the same activity she did to get pregnant in the first place. She was going nuts.
Hey yo,
on those goddamn Dum Dums.
Hey, she went dumb on them
She
dums.
went dumb on those Dum Dums. She went off. What do the kids say? She had a crash out with those Dum Dums. she went nuts. Actually, those didn't have nuts, but yes. Number 3, Lifesavers. I feel like this is a classic safe pick. I think
Classic, but you know what I would say? I'd probably drop that to 5 personally. Because
Fair.
if we're talking lifesavers, I'd rather have the gummies.
Ooh.
I'd rather the gummies
I
than the
feel
hard
like
candy.
the gummies of the Lifesavers are more flavorful than the actual hard candies.
I just like the gummies better, man. I just don't like the hard candy getting stuck in your fucking teeth.
Yeah, extra.
But
extra
I do
brushy.
like the flavor of the lifesavers.
Okay. All right. Number 2, Werther's Originals. These are your grandparents' favorite candies. I can't wait to get old enough to give these shits to my grandkids and tell them to their face that I don't even eat them. I just want to see their faces. Go ahead, chew it, eat it. Werther's Original. Never been a fan. Number 1 on the list. I think this one was a gimme. I think this one was hands down the number 1. I don't think it's a discussion to be had, but I'm willing to hear it. Number 1, best hard candies in the world today, Jolly Ranchers. I don't think there's real competition for that.
I don't think you can argue that.
Jolly Rancher is the hard candy standard. That's it. They're number 1 in the world.
It's so unique too with its bite. It has like this. It's always had this like weird, almost like flavorful glue surface. Does that make sense? You ever take the fucking wrapper off and put it in between your like molars and bite down, and you can damn near not open your fucking mouth?
Yeah.
So it dissolves because it just like latches onto your shit. They're fun to eat. That's for sure.
It sounds like it. It sounds like they're the best things ever. So that's your top 5 best hard candies in the world. We're moving on to best gummy candies. Unfortunately, Lifesavers not on this list. Best gummy candies. Number 5, they started with Black Forest Gummy Bears. So, let me see here. Black Forest Gummy Bears. Because I'm having a hard time picturing that one in my head. Oh! Wow. Okay. Top 5? Yeesh. I don't know. Hold on. I'm going to share it with you. You've seen these, right? Black Forest Gummy Bears? I don't know. It's on their list.
Yeah, no, I've seen
Maybe
those.
maybe I'm missing the boat.
I don't know. I feel like they got lazy with this list.
Oh, with this one?
With this one.
Well, number
Yeah.
four, Swedish Fish. I'll buy that.
I'll take 4. I'd even bump it to 5. It's a classic, but man, Swedish fish are like shitty to eat.
My wife has a whole bag in the other room right now.
Dude, they're so shitty to eat.
Okay.
Put them in the microwave and you're out of here.
Whoa.
But like if you just take them straight out the bag, nah.
Microwave.
They
That's
come,
my first time hearing that one.
They come stale fresh.
Oh boy.
Yeah, wrap your head around
yeah,
that.
that one hurt for a second.
I can feel the pain of you trying to process
they
that.
come
shit.
out. They come out of the bag stale fresh. Wait, what? It's like when people
they're made, they're stale.
No. Number 3 are these. I'm sharing again the Albanese gummy bears. I don't think I've ever seen these, but it's around the
I think
world.
I've seen them. I don't know if I've ever had them though.
They're from around the world though, so I'll give it to them. This one here, number 2. Oh, this is a good one. My son loves these. Trolley sour bite crawlers. That's these fucking things. Trolley. Yeah, I'll buy that.
Oh, dude, that's like my wife's number 1 gummy.
Number 1 gummy right here. The trolley.
Yeah, that and my daughter, especially the sour ones.
Oh, okay.
She calls them Trollolos.
Well, would you move it up to number 1 because number 1 on this list is the
They're
Haribo.
sour. She doesn't get a vote in this list, so no. I 2. It's better than the other ones. So if this is what I have to choose from, yeah, because you can't beat number 1.
Haribo.
I don't think you can.
The Haribo gummy bears. This
Yep,
is
the
classic-
golden bag.
The golden bag. This is it. The standard bear right here.
Yeah, that.
This is the one that's everywhere.
I don't personally care for them, but dude, I can't tell you how many times I worked at Lowe's or how long I worked at Lowe's, and like every day someone is walking with one of those bags in their pocket, one of their like vest pockets.
Yeah.
They like cut the top off to like open it up, like but make the bag small, and they fit it in their pocket. So they just walk around, they lift the latch up on their vest, they grab a gummy bear and like act. You know that shit where you think you being slick? You like put your hand over your mouth and you put the gummy in, you're acting like you're yawning.
Yeah. Is it like when you
It's
cough
like,
and
bro,
you
we
fart?
know what you're doing. Like
Yeah.
that shit was obvious. But yes, that's a classic gummy bear.
Classic gummy bear. All right. Well, we're moving on to I wish Alex was here for this one. We're moving on to the sour candies, and this is number 5, Sour Punch Bites or Sour Punch. The Sour Punch straws. My son eats these shits, no problem. I used to get down with these when I was a kid. I can't fuck with these no more. My throat right now is closing up. Just too sour.
So I don't think it's this brand, but it is very similar. We had a Sam's Club bucket. Like we got a bucket of these straws.
Okay.
And they were in the first, and when Nora was pregnant with Sammy, she had a lot of nausea, and this was one of the things that stopped her from throwing up.
Jesus Christ, the sour straw?
So anything sour, like we had our Amazon list during that pregnancy was insane. It was all sour candy, and she, like I told you, her sour tolerance is insane, and it got like doubled when she was pregnant. So we had to like scour the internet for the most intense sour stuff. We had these like nuclear bags of sour candy behind our television, and whenever she would get super nauseous, she would just grab candy out of there. To the point, 6 months in, she's like singed her taste buds from all the sour candy. But anyway, that's one of the ones that we would keep in the car as we were driving in the glove compartment, and she'd just take a straw out and eat it when she got nauseous.
Emergency straw candy for
Yup.
the car ride.
So the car rides, dude.
All right. Well, number 4 on the list, sour Skittles. So that's in the. I think that was too safe a pick, to be honest with you. It's the Skittles brand, but all right. Number 3, I'm gonna have to look this one up. Toxic waste.
Yep. That's one of the candies that she ate. We found it at the Five and Below. That was the sourest that we could find at Five and Below.
Oh,
And
I've
this is
seen
crazy because I think toxic waste out of this list should be, well, I don't know if they're just going for sour. So never mind. They're probably going for like overall favorite.
Yeah, overall for the sales and all that stuff. Yeah, they're not going by power. But this was it Hot Wings when they escalate in strength over time. Alex loves this one too. We got this one at the farmers market. They had these over at the farmers market, and he went fucking berserk when he had this shit. But yes, number 2, Warheads, obvious pick. I think that's an obvious pick. And number 1, the classic, the standard bearer, the Jolly Rancher of the sour candy, Sour Patch Kids. Now, that's not as potent. Of the 5, Sour Patch Kids, I'm not entirely sure if you line them up in terms of power, like you said, strength.
Power,
and
no, that's bottom.
That's
bottom,
near the bottom. Yeah,
but that's why they're number 1, because they're accessible to every.
Oh yeah, the branding is perfect. Yeah, they're the main.
And it has a sour kick. It'll make the softest palate like, ooh, this is sour. It's not meant to blast your head off, which is probably why more people buy it.
There you go. And more people have a level of comfort with them. It's the safe sour candy.
Don't fucking eat toxic waste. I tried one. No.
If Sour Patch Kids fucks with you,
out.
If Sour Patch Kids fuck with you, don't do toxic waste. Entry level shit. Chocolate bar showdown. This is the chocolate bars.
Big one.
This is a big category, and it's the final one we'll do before we get into the overall top 10 of all candies. But this is the last one where it's the top 5. The chocolate bar list begins at the Toblerone. I feel like that's a taster's choice type thing. Not everybody likes Toblerones. I know people who like chocolate who don't like Toblerones. So I don't know. The distinctive.
I'm trying to blank on what they look like.
Oh, I got you. Right here. Hold on a second. Toblerone. There you go. Toblerone candy. Da-da-da-da. Next time I do this for you, I'm going to start putting pictures in there. That's what we should do. There you go. Toblerone.
Dude, those are good.
Oh, no, I'm not saying they're bad. I'm saying I've seen people who like chocolate who just like, and they have a description here. Now, the distinctive triangular pieces filled with honey and almond nougat offer a unique chocolate experience. Also, I'd like to give Toblerone credit for their marketing genius. They trademarked the triangle. That's insane. You can't find another chocolate bar in the shape of a triangle. They've patented that. They trademarked that. They own that.
Genius. Absolutely genius.
That's insane. That's good stuff. Reese's Cups at number 4.
Should be number 1.
I love Reese's Cups. Yeah, I think this should be higher too.
1.
I think this should be higher too. I don't think it should be number 1. It's not my number 1, but I definitely I can make an argument for number 2. Number 3, Snickers. I'll be fair, and
this should be number 2.
See, this is my number 1. This is my favorite candy bar, Snickers. I had a Snickers today.
Fair, but here's my argument. Because fuck the other 2, right? Like, they don't belong up there, right? So here's my argument. And this is only my experience. And if you experience something different, I'm open to hear it. Take a bucket of candy, mixed. And you put the Reese's Cups in there. You know which ones I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The little gold wrapper ones.
Right.
And then you put the little Snickers in there. I promise you the Reese's are gone before the Snickers. Every single time. I promise you.
Debatable.
As the guy go looking for the Reese's and can't find them and has to settle for Snickers, I'm telling you, Reese's always goes first, man.
Reese's got that combination, the perfect combination of peanut butter and chocolate.
Oh, it's the best.
Perfect. Number 2 on the list, Kit Kat. The perfect snap of wafers, layers considered in milk chocolate, delivers satisfaction in every bite. Look at that. Number 1 on the chocolate bar showdown, Twix. The combination of cookie, caramel, and chocolate creates an unbeatable texture and flavor profile.
Oh, you said it.
I'm a fan of all 5. This wouldn't be my 5 though. I'd have to move some things around here.
I love Reese's, but I'm gonna go out on a limb Oh, see, because it says while technically not a bar, that's not a candy bar.
Right.
I don't know what you would classify it as, but it's not a candy
I
bar.
would classify it as a chocolate cup.
Now, if we need peanut butter representation,
Ah.
we should have had Butterfinger on this list. But
Fair.
I digress.
Fair.
I digress.
Fair. They don't even have a peanut butter list. We should make a peanut butter list, or they'll have them
Oh,
make a
shit,
fucking
we
peanut
should.
butter list. It changes the game. It changes
Hell
the game. So as we now lead to the 10 best candies in the world, we're gonna hear some repeats here, obviously, because if they were the top in their division, that means they're in the championship game, no doubt about it. So at number 10 on the list, this is all around the world, all candies. 10 Jolly Rancher got in at number 10. I got, I'm sorry, for me that goes a little higher, but they're in.
We'll see what it's up against.
Well, I'm telling you right now, I'm 9. I'm already having an argument. 9 is Starburst. Now, hold on a second, because I don't want to do this based on favorites and taste, right? The criteria, again, was based on consumer polls, sales data, and expert opinions from 2025. So it's only pertaining to this particular year. This was released in May.
All right, but I don't have the data, so I'm going to go with my biases here.
Yeah, exactly. So for me, I would put Jolly Rancher above Starburst, although I have no issues with Starburst. I have no
I disagree
issues.
with you. I think it's good the way it is right now.
Okay, so far so good, you said. All right.
Yeah.
Number 8, Ferrero Rocher. Those little
I can't
golden,
picture that.
the golden foil chocolate treats or whatever. You can't.
With the caramel and stuff in the middle?
Yeah.
Hazelnut center?
I'll show you the picture right now. Once you see it,
With
you're
a
going to go.
wafer?
Yeah, once you see it, you're going to go, oh, shit. The wafer is like the best part. Hold on right here. Look at these. This one right here.
Oh, dude, let me tell you something about these. So
Oh.
my boss bought some of these,
Uh-huh.
and these are the good candies, right?
Yes.
He gets a mixed bag with the Kit Kats and the Kisses and the little stuff like that. And then he gets those. And what he likes to do is he'll send me, hey, can you fix me up a gift bag, right? So then I'll go get a cup and I'll put the little fluff shit in it. And I'll fill it up with, I put a good amount, like a handful of the random chocolate and shit in there. But then you take one of those, take one or two, depending on who I'm giving it to. You put it right on top. This little special bag. Take it to him, and you give it to him. But he hasn't done that in so long, so there's a whole tray of that bitch in my storage room that I've just been housing.
Oh, no.
I was like, dude, I gotta get these because they're about expired. I'm not gonna give it to somebody if they're expired, so I've just been picking at them. Dude, I'm about half a tray in.
About half a tray.
Those are so good, dude. Those are good. So far the list checks out, but we got some competition, boy, because those things are tasty.
Okay, well, number 7 is back to the gummy bears. Haribo gummy bears, standard bears of the gummy division. They were the division winners of the gummy bears ranking.
Nah, they got to jump down for me, dude.
Yeah,
those
I would pull those down
Ferreros are
too.
better.
I would pull those
Yeah.
down. Those gummy bears, I'm being honest with you, that's my 10.
They're good.
I put Starburst above them too. I'll put that at 10.
Oh, respect it. Damn, gummies dropping down. I'm not gonna argue with you on that one.
Number 6, M&M's. I feel like this is unfair.
That's solid.
It's a solid pick, but I feel like it's a little unfair as well because it just says M&M's. So are we talking about brown bag? You're talking about just the regular milk chocolate M&M's? Because this son of all the ones on the list, man, this has got a variety.
Though, everyone has their generic name because they all have things like that.
There's no other variations of the Ferrero Rocher.
Maybe not. Well, this from this point up, yes.
Okay, all right.
So this point up, they all have different variations.
All
That
right.
You can argue some shit if you start getting into these specialty candy bars. Oh, we gotta fucking fight.
You
here, dude.
you open it
This
up the
list gets all
floodgates.
fucked up.
We're do-
Yo, this list gets fucked up when you start adding some of those specialties.
God
Let's
damn.
keep it fair.
Keep the OGs.
keep
The
it
OGs.
baseline.
Just do OGs. Classics. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm already hot because number 5 is Snickers. I'm already hot at that. And for you, because 4 is Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
Yeah, we're kind of getting rocked here.
Yeah, both of ours are smack dab in the middle. And I think the only thing bothering me, we'll get to it. Number 3, Kit Kat. Right? So 5 Snickers, 4 Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, 3 Kit Kat. Which, again, I'm not saying Kit Kat's not a big seller here in the States. It's fucking everywhere. But I get the vibe that that's more... It's getting its consumer data from around the world as well. Kit Kat is huge overseas, outside of the U.S. So I don't know.
Well, I mean, we read earlier it was number 1 in Japan.
Number 1 in Japan. There you go. Number 2, Sour Patch Kids. This is too high for me. For Sour Patch
Way
Kids.
too fucking high.
But again, I'm not a sour guy. So I think that's where the bias really comes in. All sour candies for me are low. This was the winner of the sour division, and I still wouldn't have this high. And right here, I'm going to read this. Number 1, Twix. And it says, taking the crown as the world's best candy, according to a massive consumer poll with over 61,000 voters, Twix has earned its place at the top. This perfect blend of crunchy cookie, smooth caramel, and milk chocolate creates a multi-dimensional taste experience that candies lovers can't resist. The unique combination of textures and the option to choose between left and right Twix adds to its appeal, making it the reigning champion of candies worldwide. Is that brilliant marketing? I never understood left or right Twix. I don't get it. I thought the joke was that there really was no difference.
I don't know, dude. I'm actually really blown away to hear Twix and Kit Kat at the top. Because if you would have told me to make a list, I would probably have forgotten about these two. So the fact that the data shows that these two go this hard, I mean, I have to concede. I don't have the data.
61,000 people.
That's a lot of votes. And you know what the
That's
problem
impressive.
is? See, we said keep it generic, but I don't think people were voting that way.
Ooh.
Because them white chocolate versions of both of those go hard.
True.
Go hard.
Man.
Dude, don't get me started on Easter. Yo, you want to talk about Easter? Kit Kat takes the cake.
Oh.
Dude, Kit Kat is all over every time. That to me is where Kit Kat gets so good. Anytime it's Easter, I feel like I see Kit Kats everywhere.
For Easter specifically?
For Easter specifically.
Oh,
That's my
man.
experience. And that's the only thing that matters.
That's all I got to say about that. Oh, man. I feel like Halloween is where I get a chance to really see most of the candies in action. Like people,
I feel like
digging
that's
in.
where you can really get a judge.
Yeah, because there's a lot
And
of
if
people.
we're going
yeah.
off of that, it's Snickers, dude.
Listen, I don't want. I'm an advocate. I don't want to seem like I'm, favoritism here. But I'm telling you, Snickers is a bad bitch. I'm just saying.
Snickers
is
if
a
we're
bad
talking
bitch.
Halloween, Snickers and peanut butter, Reese's peanut butter cup are the best.
Snickers is the only candy bar that is advertised as almost like a meal replacement. Like, that's how hardy Snickers is. People be like, yo, you're so hungry you've turned into an evil person.
Yeah.
Have this Snickers. And they turn back to themselves. Are you hungry?
They sell
Why
that shit
wait?
like a drug.
Yes.
Like, bro, you angry? Here, take this antidepressant
Yeah.
called Snickers.
Fuck
and you're gonna feel
Prozac.
great.
Take this Snickers bar to the face, and you're gonna be yourself. You don't want to be Rosie O'Donnell no more. Here, bite this Snicker, and you're gonna be a better person.
I have a Slim Fast for breakfast and a Snickers for dinner. That's my food for the day.
That's it. Those are all my calories. I'm set. I'm good to go.
all my calories for the day.
Yeah, that's it for me.
Fuck a shepherd's pie.
Yeah. Well, I'll. When we were doing Thanksgiving, we were damn near close to fucking a shepherd's pie. We put our balls in everything during Thanksgiving. So there you go.
Everything that goes into a shepherd pie had balls in it.
Yeah, the ground meat, the gravy, the potatoes, the little
Don't eat at
veggies.
my house.
Yeah, unless you like ball flavor food. That's it. That's the
Unless you like balls.
You don't have to like it, but it can't be
but you don't eat it.
Yeah, I'm saying you don't have to come to my house being a full-fledged fan of balls, but it can't be a deal breaker for you either. That's all I'm saying. So you don't have to love it. You just don't throw the plate away. That's it. You gotta get through the meal. You know what I'm saying? So those are the candy lists. I thought that would be fun to do on the show. But I was looking through it. I was just like, God damn, they did my candy bar wrong, baby. They did them wrong. All right. We're going to go off into the next segment now.
It's time for segment 3.
So really quickly, before we do the live next week, which once again, next Wednesday, 7 p.m., Summerslam. We're going to be doing a Summerslam live show. It'll be on Facebook. It'll be on YouTube. It'll be on Twitch. You'll have the opportunity to view it in those ways. You'll also have an opportunity to chat, join in on the fun. We're going over 2 nights of SummerSlam, which is already starting to take shape. We'll have a much better idea. The only thing we don't know, there's a bunch of matches already announced for SummerSlam, but the one thing that we don't know yet is which night is what. So hopefully by next Wednesday, we'll have a clearer idea as to which night the certain matches will be on. If not, we'll just do the matches as they are. I don't really care. I don't need the nights, but that'll be the setup for next Wednesday. The day before we go live on the 29th on Netflix, they're going to release the WWE documentary called Unreal, where it's a series that they're going to put together showing you, the audience, what happens behind the scenes, what goes into making the decisions that they make, what goes into the production, what goes into everything behind closed doors in WWE. As Triple H himself put it, we're going to pull that curtain back. We're going to let the people see what's going on. And I'll be the first to say, when they did something very similar to this last year, and you and I were hyped for it, when they were going to do the 1-hour documentary about what went down at WrestleMania 40 with The Rock and Roman Reigns and Cody and Seth Rollins. And we actually got excited for that one because we knew that it was going to give us some insight as to how that main event really, or those 2 main events really came to play. Because there was a lot of controversy and a lot of talk about what went into it. I don't think I minded so much that one because of the way that it ended. It ended so beautifully. It ended so nice. We got the tag team main event, which led into the Roman Reigns-Cody match the next night, ending of the story. Classic night of WrestleMania, one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time. This was a positive spin. And that's why I think I really didn't mind it all that much. I'm old school. I don't like the breaking of the kayfabe as far as being specific as to what's going on backstage. But the way that they filmed it, the way that we got responses from people, I was kind of into it. This one scares me because this documentary is going to take place during a time where the drama was negative, where there was a butting of heads, where things are not going the way that everybody wants them to go. There's one side for this person, one side for that person. Cody doesn't want to do this. John doesn't want to do this. Rock wants to do this. Triple H will not allow that to happen. There was, leading into WrestleMania, there was a swarm of controversy that took place. So my biggest issue with this, and this is why I kind of wanted to throw this out into the ether before I watch it, was we have assholes on social media right now that have never stepped foot in a locker room, never stepped foot in a ring, don't know a single person in this industry, but have watched it their whole lives, so they feel like they know everything that they need to know. And right or wrong, you can never tell these people that they are on the right track or way off base. They know it, and that's all that there is to it. These people walk around with the ultimate confidence that they know the business like the back of their hands, and they don't know anything about the business. And one of the biggest things that I hate about this show is that this show is going to be used by people as a metric, as a way of explaining away their bullshit. I don't like this booking decision. Triple H sucks. oh, actually, this decision was pretty good. Triple H is kind of a genius. It goes 100 miles in either fucking direction. And I don't like the idea that they're going to pull that curtain back and allow these people to see what the process is, because then it's going to give them more ammunition to continue to behave the way that these fans have been behaving the last couple of years, which is entitled to the whole situation. They know how this works now. I just saw it on the show. So you don't really have a reason for not pushing my favorite wrestler. It's all a preference. You're playing favorites. That doesn't sit well with people. If you look online, they will tell you that Jey Uso was the worst decision for the World Championship in years. But if you go to the building, he's one of the most over motherfuckers on planet Earth. They can't get enough of this fucking guy. I hit the button again. They can't get enough of this fucking guy. So the two worlds are split. And I feel like this documentary is going to blur some of those lines. So I'm a little concerned about what happens to the audience, to the fan base, once they get a load of what's going to be on this show. I mean, even in the trailer, when it opens up with Cody, it's like, how do you feel? You know, it's like, well, my arms work, my neck's not broken, and I'm walking, so whatever, it's a good day, you know what I'm saying? Like, that kind of stuff, I don't think people really need, they don't really need to see it. They don't really need to say that.
There was a part before that, too, where they ask him, hey, because they say, hey, how do you feel? And he's like shit.
Yeah.
But, like, not Cody, like, not, like you said, him, real person, him.
Yeah.
Like, how do you feel? Like, shit. But my spine's not fucked up. My neck is fine. Like, he's listing off a couple things. And he's like, as long as those are okay, I don't have a right to bitch. And just, I see what you're saying. Like, that feels very disconnected from the character. And it could be a little weird, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, for Cody, as an adult, right? As an adult, we have the ability to look at something and make the decisions as to what it is that we believe and don't believe in what we're looking at. There never has been a time, and I keep telling people this, there's never been a time where everyone who watched wrestling believed that it was real and on the up and up. There was an era where it was predominantly believed to be real, but you always had those pocket fans who were just like looking at it and just go, 2 and 2 equals 4. This doesn't make any sense, right? The way that they move, the way they're selling the moves, the way they're hitting each other, this looks not, this isn't real, right? We have more of those now. It's flipped. We have more people who know that it's scripted, that know that it's coordinated, than people who don't. But having said that, that doesn't necessarily mean that we have to go full board to that direction. I love, when I go to Disney Plus, that every time they drop a Marvel movie, they immediately follow it on the Disney Plus app with, they call it, oh shit, it's a series. Anyway, just behind this, every time they release a Marvel movie, there's an episode on that series that shows you behind the scenes of how that movie came about. I love watching those. You know why I love watching them? I get to see the set design. I get to see how they went about choosing who the actors would be. I get to see all the individuals who put the production together in the first place. You know what I don't see in those behind the scenes at Marvel? Who made the decision on how the script was going to go? I don't get to see producers and writers and the directors sit down and formulate the script. Well, Iron Man's going to do this, and then Spider-Man's going to do that. Like, that's not part of the behind the scenes. They're giving you an inside look at what it looks like to be on set. You can do that. Hey, this is them in the exercise room. This is them training. Okay, fine. Those are uplifting stories. They're advertising. We're going to sit down and we're going to show you how we do this, like how we put this together. And I think that's crazy. Why, if you've got a world famous gumbo, why would you give the recipe out on Facebook? That doesn't make any sense. Just continue to make the fucking gumbo. I know there's fans out there that want to know, but even if you tell them they don't know, you can watch all the episodes of ER that you want, and there's millions of them. by the end of that season, by the end of all those seasons, you're not going to be able to perform open heart surgery. I don't care how many times you've seen it. It's not enough to tell people the information. They have to be able to comprehend it. That's what training is for. You tell a bunch of people this is how I do it, they're going to look at that and they're going to go, oh yeah, I understand that. They don't. And their warped version of that understanding is how they're going to filter in the content that you provide moving forward. They're going to think, oh, I've been looking at it all wrong. This is how I'm supposed to look at it. And then they're going to go, oh, well, this sucks because it doesn't fit. Okay, but it changed. You didn't see that part. They showed you a window of this one incident that took place, and now you're going to use that as your copy and paste. That's not how this business works at all. Right now, Jey Uso is top of the pops, right? He's getting the big pops. They're pushing him to the moon. Tomorrow, they can deviate from that completely, and it changes everything. So I don't know. I'm not a fan, but I want to see what it looks like, though. I am curious.
We'll see. I know when I first took a look at the trailer, I had that knee jerk reaction of like, ooh, I don't know if I like this. Like, this might just be a little too much, but I don't know. I want to reserve. I want to pull back. I don't want to use my old mindset or whatever the case may be about it, because we are dealing with people who are used to this type of stuff. So I don't understand the reason why, but if anything, I would imagine it's to evolve and to kind of try something new in the way that, like, the way we see things is different than what the kids today see things. So this may be entertainment, more of the it makes sense with like the streaming stuff, the streamers, the reality interaction, like to see the real people. Like, that's a thing that this generation enjoys. Like, it's their entertainment. So it's not too far-fetched to think that they can do something like this and it will work for like a younger crowd. So I don't want to kill it right away, but like you said, I have my reservations. I have my my feelings about it. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
We'll see. We're obviously, I'll just repeat again, we're not doing anything with Unreal on the live show on the 30th. If anything, if we can get around to seeing it, I'll do it the week after, but not doing it on the live show. So I'm just putting this out there right now. Let everybody know how I felt before. Let's see how I feel after. We'll find out. But right now, it's actually time for our main event.
It is now time for our main event.
Our main event of the evening. It's SummerSlam time, baby. It is SummerSlam time, and last week we started talking about some of my favorite SummerSlam moments, literally of all time, and it was going to be the top 20 moments in SummerSlam history. And like I said at the start of the show, I screwed the pooch on this one. I got all the scheduling all kinds of fucked up and all kinds of all over the place. So I really wanted to space these out a little bit more, and I won't get that opportunity. But I don't want to completely disregard like the whole list. So we're just gonna run through the list here. I've left myself with plenty of time to do that. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go through the list. But before we do that, just really quickly for those who missed it, and they're up individually on the YouTube channel. So if you don't want to sit through a whole segment, I actually have them numbered. So it's like 3 or 4 minutes that we spent on each one. Number 20, number 19, number 18, blah, blah, blah. I'll continue to do that with these that we're about to do. But so far, number 20 was Finn Balor versus Seth Rollins at SummerSlam 2016. We were talking about Finn's ascension from the NXT Black and Gold brand into Universal Championship fame, only for him to, as Dave said, bump like an idiot on a guardrail and ruin his entire career. Number 19, The Ultimate Warrior, defeating the Honky Tonk Man for the Intercontinental Championship in the blink of an eye. He was out, and it was over. Number 18, Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero, a ladder match for the custody of the future Intercontinental Champion Dominic Mysterio. Number 17, Hulk Hogan and Shawn Michaels. I forgot to give years. Warrior and Honky Tonk Man was 88. Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero in 2005. Another 2005 match was number 17, Hulk Hogan and the Bump Machine, Shawn Michaels, going at it back and forth. And number 16, in my opinion, one of the greatest opening matches to a SummerSlam in history. I'm done with this. I'm taking it out because it keeps making that stupid sound, and I don't want to sit here and edit that out. So, number 16, Kurt Angle versus Rey Mysterio in one of the greatest SummerSlam openers of all time. I am all for it. I enjoy it. But now let's get to the real, and let's get to the nitty-gritty. The number 15 moment in SummerSlam history that I'm a big fan of. It takes us back to SummerSlam 2002, to the Nassau Coliseum in Long Island, New York, a show that I missed and I regret it to this day. The main event consisted of rookie sensation Brock Lesnar against main event mainstay The Rock for the World's WWE Championship, and the upstart Lesnar takes it from The Rock. And the reason why I added this as one of my favorite moments was because Brock Lesnar was a complete and utter nobody from nowhere. I understand that he was the NCAA heavyweight champion and he had a lot of hype during his developmental days, but no one saw this man coming. He didn't debut at WrestleMania. He debuted the night after Monday Night Raw, which was in April of 2002. This is his road to the championship. He debuts in April, slamming it was Al Snow, Spike Dudley like a rag doll. I think Maven's in there. I can't remember who. He beat the two-title shit out of people. Then the first pay-per-view opportunity he had, which was Backlash in April, he beats up both Hardy Boys by himself. May, I forgot what the fuck he did. That may have been a SmackDown pay-per-view. But June, he wins the King of the Ring, defeating Intercontinental Champion Rob Van Dam in the finals. They rematch in July. He runs through that. And then he beats The Rock for the title in August. He debuts in April. He becomes the world champion in August. I had never seen some shit like that when I was a kid. And I wasn't much of a kid. This was 2002, so I'm 19. This was an insane rise. And I thought to myself, wow, what a push so early in his career. I hope he pans out.
Hindsight, huh?
Yeah, he did all right.
He paid out.
Yeah,
He checked out.
Yeah. I guess it
This was a high-intensity match, man. They came out fucking swinging.
Yeah. And I think
holy shit.
And I think looking back on it, I watched it again when I put it on this list. Looking back on it, I think that was intentional. I think The Rock went out there, hey, if this kid really has it, we'll find out. And Rock found out Lesnar was no fucking joke. And Lesnar, as we all know, would go on to great success in the WWE. I don't know if The Rock can make claim that he got the kid over or not, but
I don't know. Like, if you're referring to this match specifically, this was one of those matches where it's just like you are obviously watching two high-end people do it at the highest level, and it didn't seem like anyone was carrying anyone else. No one was dominating. It was just two superstars having a match on the biggest stage. That's just what it felt like.
Which is amazing that it felt like that based on what I just told you. He had not been there very long at all. And here he is with The Rock.
That boy good.
Going toe-to-toe. A lot of people, I'm right there with him when they say things like, well, I don't know if that's the match that made him, but it's definitely the match that got the ball rolling on him, which is true. The match that I think made him, and it's not SummerSlam related, but about 2 months after this, he went inside Hell in a Cell with The Undertaker and beat Taker in the cell. And that was a bloodbath. So I think that is actually more on the lines of the one that actually got him over, but this was definitely what got the ball rolling right here. Big time SummerSlam match. Number 14.
This is a fucking joke. I saw this shit. I said, yeah, fuck that. You talking through this one. Fuck you. This is me reading it. The balls on this fucking guy to make this number 14, you got it. You fucking got it. It's all you, brother. Take it away.
Okay, well, what he's talking about is I didn't choose a specific match. I wanted to highlight the show as a whole because number 14 is SummerSlam of 2001. And the reason why I'm highlighting the show, because again, we're doing moments, not necessarily matches. This particular, the moment that I'm considering when it comes to this show is prior to 2001, there was always, during the height of the Monday Night Wars, for those of you who didn't get a chance to live through that, there was constant conversations of what it would be like for WWE superstars to compete against WCW superstars. As the 90s contributed on, we started to throw ECW into that hat. I myself am guilty of that as well. I used to have conversations with my friends all the time. I used to write out fantasy cards. I think one time I was a kid. I didn't know what I was doing, but I think I did like a fantasy card of like ECW, WCW, and WWE. And my main event was a triple threat between Stone Cold, Goldberg, and Taz. So it's like that's.
Oh God, you almost had it. 2 out of 3 ain't bad, baby.
Well, who
For
was
a little kid, dude?
Who was the 2?
Stop it. No, I said two good ones, 1 bad one.
Who was the bad one?
Which one doesn't belong?
Goldberg?
Oh my God, I can't believe you.
You talking about Taz?
You really hate fucking Goldberg.
I really did not like Goldberg. No, I did not.
If you think Goldberg out of those 3 is the one that don't belong,
well, let me tell you something. If you're
Goldberg.
talking about who was over, like I chose the most over 3 for their company. That's how
That's
that
fair.
went. That's how I got to that match. But if we were talking about match quality, if you remove Goldberg from that match gets insanely better off rip. Just as a
I
match.
respect it.
So I was just like, yeah. So
Hey, you're the professional here, dude, not me.
now, well, I wasn't a professional at the time. That was complete 100% mark booking. I would never do that now. I would find a much better. I did that because, like, for instance, I think all the other matches were also consistent. So it was like the Intercontinental Champion for WWE was also in a match with like the TV champion of like WCW and like the ECW television champion. Like I just kept it neutral. Like I just kept everybody where they were, and the names just kept popping out. So, but this card in 2001, this is as close as we were gonna get to that. Is why it's on here as a moment. Because there was matches on here I never thought I'd see in my entire fucking life. Even though these are also matches that, for the most part, not a lot of people asked for. Because when we did the thought process in our head on WWE versus WCW, we had matches like Steve Austin versus Goldberg, or Shawn Michaels versus Sting, or The Undertaker versus Sting, or however you want to do it. But we didn't have access to those people. WWE had their stars, but we didn't have Nash, we didn't have Hall, we didn't have Sting, we didn't have Goldberg, we didn't have Flair, we didn't have a litany of WCW superstars that would have moved the needle and made this the ultimate dream show. But it was as close as we were going to get. By here at SummerSlam, it wasn't WCW anymore, it was WCW, ECW, the Alliance. So, like the opening match, right? The Intercontinental Championship, Edge against Lance Storm. That's a dope match. A match that we would never have gotten up until that point unless the merger. The Dudley Boys were WWE superstars, but they were representing the Alliance because they were former ECW talent. So that was a scratch, right? But X-Pac versus Tajiri, the Cruiserweight Champion versus the Light Heavyweight Champion. That's WCW's Cruiserweight Championship against the WWE Light Heavyweight Championship. Dope. Jericho and Rhino, which is, again, WWE match, but Rhino was an ECW alum. He was part of the Alliance. This is the match that everybody wanted to see, which was Rob Van Dam versus Jeff Hardy. Of course, there had to be a ladder match, because why not? Kane and The Undertaker against Diamond Dallas Page against Chris Kanyon. Kurt Angle and Stone Cold with Stone Cold representing the Alliance. Like I said, this is not the card that we wanted, but it was close. The Rock against Booker T for the WCW Championship. And that's the only reason we got close.
If I'm reading this correctly, every belt changed hands this night.
I'm looking at it now.
There's 2 belts that looks like both sides were defending a belt, so that's inevitable.
Yeah, right.
But every other championship match,
X-Pac and Tajiri was a unification bout. X-Pac won the title, but he didn't lose his. But yeah, you're right.
Sure, but a title changed hands.
Right? Hardcore.
This entire card, the titles changed hands.
Yeah.
Did you realize that? That's pretty sick.
Well, no. Kurt Angle, Stone Cold. Kurt Angle won the match by DQ. Stone Cold state champion.
See, I missed that. That
belt didn't change hands, but
Gotcha.
but still a good catch because I didn't realize until you just mentioned that the titles, all those titles, did change hands. They actually did. They actually did end up putting the belt on Kurt about a month or 2 later in Pittsburgh. No, it was a month later. The next pay-per-view, Unforgiven, when they did it. That was when I think Kurt Angle kicked out of like 17 Stone Cold Stunners. They buried that fucking finish. Anyway, yeah. So that's why it was on this list. It's as close as we were going to get. Is it the pay-per-view we wanted? No, but they did the best they could. So that was the Invasion show of 2001. Number 13 is a personal favorite, a classic.
Dude.
This brought back so many memories when I watched
this shit just screams vintage, dude.
Oh
my God.
It's the first ever Lions Den match in 1999. Ken Shamrock versus Owen Hart, where Owen Hart was trained by Dan Severn, and he showed him the Dragon Sleeper, son. This is the payoff for the feud. Previous to this pay-per-view, in July at Fully Loaded, Ken Shamrock and Owen Hart had a match at the Stu Hart Dungeon, which, no lie, folks, I know it sounds crazy, but Stu Hart's dungeon is just exercise mats on the floor in Stu Hart's basement in his home, for real, in his house. It's for real his house. That was for real where he lived with his family. And they went into that match, and there were no ropes, no ring. It was mats, like how they train in the dungeon. But they still had like a professional wrestling match, so they like threw him into the walls, and they were taking bumps and all that stuff. And I'll never forget Owen Hart hitting Ken Shamrock in the back of the head with a dumbbell in the back of the head, and you can hear King go, "Look, a dumbbell for a dumbbell." He hit the fucking mat, and Owen beat him. He beat him in the dungeon match, but then Ken, the follow-up, Ken goes, "Well, we were in your world, now you got to enter my world," hence the Lions Den match. I also want to give this match credit because it was the only match on the card that wasn't in the Garden. That Garden.
I noticed that. They looked like they were off-site.
Yeah, that Garden. Do I have the wrong year now that I'm thinking about this? Because they were in Madison Square Garden Theater. So hold on one second, because I may have my facts wrong on this. Let's double check. Because I'm pretty sure SummerSlam is definitely SummerSlam. It was 98. I have my year wrong. It was 98. There you go. Because, the rest of the show took place in the Garden. Their match took place in Madison Square Garden Theater. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with how that works, I was just at the Garden this past weekend, and I've been to the theater before for another show. The Garden itself is like walk in. When you walk in off the street, that level there is the theater. So that's the area. That's where they have a much smaller section. It's usually for like music and concerts and stuff. And then you have to take escalators upstairs to the actual garden, where like the basketball players play and where the rest of this pay-per-view was. So it's not off-site. It's literally in the same building. It's just a different floor. It's a different section. So the brilliance to sell out the Garden and sell out the downstairs theater just for that one fucking match. Because if you were in the theater, you got the one match live, and then you got the screen for the rest of the show. So I think people still had fun. I remember hearing from friends I had a friend who who went to the theater. It was a cheaper ticket, so he went to the theater. He still got to watch the whole pay-per-view with wrestling fans and still got the ambiance and all that. But then he got the Lions Den match live. So I was like, oh, bro, that must have been so cool. So, yeah, Lions Den for me, what a memory. And then
That finished.
That finish with the run up the cage.
We can't walk past that shit. Was fire. It reminded me of the Kurt Angle finish.
Oh,
where, like, I felt like it would have been as dope if they landed it.
Yeah, this one landed.
So the idea was great. This they fucking hit it.
They hit it.
Like it was
dope.
so perfect how they did it in the end. I popped for that shit. I was like, oh my god, that finish was fire.
I always
that was
loved.
So good.
I always loved Ken's intensity and the theme, and then you combine that with like JR's reaction to the win. So it was like he does it, he puts him in the ankle lock, and Owen taps, and you see him scream and go to the top of the cage, and JR goes, and Shamrock is the king of the Lions Den. And you hear, I was like, oh shit! I was watching this at work, going fucking nuts. My coworker was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? He's the king of the Lions Den, bitch. That's what's wrong.
That shit was fire. This match was really good. I enjoyed watching this shit, dude.
This was it. This was a dope fucking match, and it stood out. For me, it always stood out. The next match, number 12, same pay-per-view. 98 was loaded. It's the same pay-per-view, and the reason why I added this one is because it's Triple H, it's The Rock, it's a ladder match. The ladder match to me isn't the moment. It's a dope match. It's everything that kind of led up to that. So in June, Triple H and The Rock kind of already started an issue with one another, and it led it to the King of the Ring tournament. And The Rock got all the way. He didn't get to face Triple H, but he got all the way to the finals. And Ken Shamrock. Was that the year? Yeah, that was the year I think Ken Shamrock won the King of the Ring, which was, 98. So Ken Shamrock beat The Rock in the finals of the King of the Ring, but The Rock was still the Intercontinental Champion. And because of the little tiff they had before the King of the Ring tournament, it led to Triple H and The Rock having a feud with one another. Not their first time competing against each other for the Intercontinental Championship, but the first time they had a program where this is a real beef between The Rock and his group, The Nation, against Triple H and Generation X. They had multiple battles back and forth. They go to Fully Loaded, and I defy anyone. I still to this day feel like this is the most well-executed, best 2 out of 3 falls match in modern history. Go back to Fully Loaded 1998. It was a 30-minute time limit, best 2 out of 3 falls between The Rock and Triple H. They had Rock gets a fall, Triple H gets a fall. We're getting down to the wire. It's getting down to the last few seconds. And again, perfectly executed. Dodges a rock bottom, kick to the gut, hooks the arm. It's pedigree, 1, 2, no 3 count. Referee waves off the pin. Triple H is pissed. What the fuck's going on? They ring for the bell. The time limit expired mid-pin. And both men dripping sweat. Triple H is like, his hair is all wet and matted. They're all exhausted. But there's no winner. And there's no finish. And so now we've got to figure out the winner. A few weeks later, we get to Raw, and the tension is building. And this is beyond Triple H and The Rock now. Now it's the Nation versus DX. So they get into a no-holds-barred, I think it was a 6-man or an 8-man tag. And they beat the shit out of Triple H. I don't remember if they handcuffed or if I forgot what the situation was, but DX got canceled out, and the Nation just had their fucking way with Triple H, and The Rock started grabbing weapons, and one of them was a ladder, and he just kept beating the shit out of Triple H with the ladder. And later on that night, on the way before they took him to the hospital, and he had an internal bleeding. He was coughing up blood. And he goes into the camera and says, you want to bring ladders into the ring, Rock? Why don't we bring a ladder to Madison Square Garden? Why don't you put that Intercontinental Championship high into the air, and we'll find out who the real man is, Rock. And that's how we got to SummerSlam. And they proceeded to have one of the best ladder matches in the history of ladder matches. This is one of those things. Everyone talks about Shawn and Razor. This was the one that followed that feud. Shawn and Razor for the ladder matches. This was the next one, and this one was, to me, equally as good as any other ladder match I've really ever seen two individuals have. This is one of those matches that makes me hate the multi-man even more, because it just this is what it could look like. It could look like this, but no one wants to do it like this anymore. So who fucking knows? This was the coming out party. These two would go on to become. I mean, look at this current situation of the two of them. One of them runs the company, and the other one is the boss of the one who runs the company, and they're still fighting each other to this day in 2025. They're geriatrics. Triple H weighs 150 pounds with a massive dinosaur head. This motherfucker is somebody's grandpa now. And The Rock looks like he's eaten several grandpas and is now swole to the goal, and he's like 1,000 years old with neck muscles. I don't understand how that works, but that's where we're at. That was Triple H and The Rock at SummerSlam. Number 11. I tried to write a description for you because when I mention this to people, they get very confused. Number 11 was a shocker for most people, but it was The Undertaker versus The Undertaker.
That whole building was shot. Like the first half of the match was complete fucking silence.
Yeah, they didn't know what to fucking think of this. So I wrote the description. I'll read the description that I wrote you. This was weird and as a kid kind of scary. The $1 Million Man debuted The Undertaker as a mystery partner. That takes us back to Survivor Series 1990. That's when The Undertaker debuted in that character as he was a mystery partner for the heel stable for the $1 Million Team. He was a mystery partner that debuted. And very much like you just described here about how the audience was quiet, they were stunned quiet when he came up during that debut. Ted introduced him to the WWE, but they splintered off. Ted had other things to do. Taker would go on to have his own career. Somewhere down the line, Ted needed the muscle, he needed the backup, and figured, hey, I'll just pull the string of The Undertaker again. Doesn't work that way, and so Taker didn't want any part of it. By this time, Taker's a full-fledged babyface, so he wants no part of the heels. So, in true rich white man CEO, avoiding Coldplay Kiss Cam, white man everywhere, he decided, I'll just make another Undertaker. I'll just buy a new Undertaker.
Yeah, dude.
And here comes this extra tall white guy dressed almost exactly like The Undertaker, which is so crazy. The person who played that Taker, the other Taker, Brian, was it Brian Adams? I think it was. Not Brian Adams. That's Crush. Who was the Brian Lee? Who? I'm trying to remember the name now. Who was the other Undertaker in 1994? I don't know why I'm slipping right now on that name. I want to think about it. There you go. Give me the goddamn. There it is, Brian. I did say it right. Brian Lee. Fuck. I was getting my Brians mixed up. He was Chains in DOA. He was long-haired, one of the long-haired guys, not the Ball Twins. But he was with the WWE for a while. He was the one that they had dress up to be like The Undertaker. And they were actually real-life friends. So that was a lot of fun for Taker. So, this was an absolutely weird situation, but it always stuck out to me because on the playground, when I was at school in 1994, when this was happening, this is why I say by scary. Like, a lot of people were really concerned. They're like, which Undertaker is the real one? I understand. It was like a real deal. I remember in school, people used to say shit about the Undertaker. They're like, he's really dead, right? He's really dead. Like, he's a zombie for real. He's a zombie for real. That was a real question, a real thing that people were actually talking about.
Be a kid again, huh?
So that was 94 with Undertaker versus Undertaker, now, which takes us to our top 10. And I would love to get your reaction to my number 10 pick. This takes us back to SummerSlam 91. Big Boss Man versus the Mountie jailhouse match. Did you see this footage?
So the takeaway for me
Okay.
First of all, like I don't remember the Mountie too much,
Okay.
and it made me laugh because I remember you said back in that day, like everybody had an occupation, so you have two police officers in the ring, fucking fight each other.
One from
But-
Canada and one from America.
But what I forgot how good the Big Boss Man was.
Oh yeah, Big Bubba.
I know
Ray
he was
Trailer.
a big deal. I know he was a big deal, but I don't remember him being as fucking quick, as fucking strong. Like I saw him, like, dude, these guys are big and they're fucking going. Like that, this match had some pretty good speed to it, considering I completely slept on the Big Boss Man. I forget how good he was.
Oh yeah, and the funny thing about Boss Man, I listen to the Cornette podcast a lot, so my history with Boss Man, Ray Trailer, extends originally from the early Golden Age WWE, WWF time. I remember him after that run going back to WCW, because he was in WCW before he was that Boss Man, when he went back to be Ray Trailer again. And then he had another run. I don't know if you remember. He came back in like the late 90s, like an all black, like tactical gear outfit, like much later.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
so-
reminded me of that character from Street Fighter. That's what I remember distinctly.
Yeah.
Didn't he have like a nightstick or something?
He did. He was flicking it
Yeah, okay.
around. And,
Yeah.
So, like, that was my history of him. That was my knowledge of him. But listening to the Cornette podcast, Cornette was with him when he began his career from the very, very beginning. His Ray Trailer, or Bubba's job when he first got into the industry was being Cornette's bodyguard. And Cornette says, from day one, this guy was a different athlete. He was just different. He could move different. He understood the business quickly. And as a matter of fact, the only reason they brought him into WWE originally is they wanted a big man who could move and bump for Hogan. They needed to feed him larger opponents. That's how he got in. But then, like, the audience took to the character and took to him, and they started cheering him. He became this tremendous babyface. So during this time period in particular, this is the jailhouse match. We've never had one since, only because I think the days of the NYPD cooperating with WWE on this level is gone and forever. We'll never get that again. But yeah, they literally dragged this motherfucker out of the ring and sent his ass to a New York City jail, for real. Obviously, the camera goes off. They open the door. The man goes home. But still, like, as a kid watching this, you're like, they really put this motherfucker in the jail for real. And if you look, I think the video I sent you had a little bit of the preview. Remember when the Mountie was in the beginning? The Mountie was cutting the promo, and the cops are right there. And I'm just like, are they really sitting here listening to this, about to take this man to full on jail for real? So I was like, this is crazy. As a kid, this was fucking insane. And I think people are starting to catch on that a lot of these picks are nostalgia picks. A lot of these picks, obviously, from when I was a kid. I've got some older ones, but for the most part, yeah, these are the ones that stood out. I think we're in either 90s or early 2000s moving forward, which I'm going to comment on that at the end of this. But we're going to continue the fun here. That was the Big Boss Man and Mountie at number 10. Number 9. The moment that scared the shit out of every human being on planet Earth, including my own mom. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Owen Hart, SummerSlam 97. The infamous inverted pile driver that almost took out the single biggest attraction in professional wrestling history in Stone Cold Steve Austin. I still say to this day, I still believe in my heart that pile driver was not as unintentional as people say. I don't think he was trying to injure Steve, and I don't think he was trying to take Steve out. I'm not going to go that far. Owen's a professional and a human being. I don't think he would do that. But that was a very unique situation. Owen, I don't even remember a time before that when Owen executed that move. I've never seen him tilt-a-whirl into a tombstone position into a fucking sit out. Obviously never after, but I have a hard time remembering him doing it before then too. That was a very unique situation that was in. So I don't know. I don't know. And it's still, you remember the pin? You want to talk about finishes? You remember that pin?
I'm drawing a blank for some reason. I saw it not too long ago too. I can't remember.
That was the one where, okay, so like he drops him with the pile driver. Obviously he can't move. Owen tries to buy time. He's arguing with the referee. Austin somehow crawls toward Owen. He grabs Owen by the boot, but clearly does not have the strength to really schoolboy him. Owen does the roll completely on his own. He just back rolls. And Steve kind of goes with him. Referee makes the count 1, 2, 3, and that's the finish. And they get out of it. And Owen does the whole, he sells it, what the fuck, like shock. And Steve just lays there praying that God does not take him in that exact moment. And it's just, it's a standout moment for all the wrong reasons, but it's a standout moment to me. We got so close to, and in the end, that injury did get him. That is the injury that ended his career. And that happened in 97. He would eventually retire from full-time competition in 2002. So he was, I'll give him credit for pushing through and getting at least 5 more years out of that neck. But that was the end of Stone Cold Steve Austin. And it should have been probably full-time the end of him then. Otherwise, he wouldn't be dealing with the physical shit he's dealing with now. Almost dying at WrestleMania 19, passed out in a hallway, and was saved by a random production member who happened to be coming from the concession store late at night to get a beverage and coming back and seeing a passed out, damn near dead Stone Cold Steve Austin in the hallway, saving his life from all the shit that's been going on with him. It all spiraled from there. So yeah, all the wrong reasons, granted, but it's still a big moment to me. Number 8. This is the controversy that happened way back in the mid-90s. This is 1995. Shawn Michaels versus Razor Ramon, the ladder match. I said it in the description to you. I'll repeat it here. Everyone always talks about the WrestleMania match, which is not a bad match. But you remember, because I think it pissed you off so much that it's still stuck in your head to this day, that Shawn Michaels VHS tape that I had, where it was the best of Shawn Michaels. Mm-hmm. And that match, that ladder match with Razor, that was at SummerSlam, that was the one that was on his best of tape. And the reason he added that one is because he felt that was the better ladder match. And I agree.
Right.
I agree. If you look at the WrestleMania match, and I'm not saying that was a bad match, it was great. This one was better. They actually managed to get more emotion out of it here with this match. So that's why it's a standout for me, because they did what was considered to be the greatest ladder match of all time. Said, hey, we got to do that again. And they did it, and they managed to overcome it. Did you get a chance to see this match? Or no, not really?
No, I watched it, and I kind of vaguely remembered it. I kind of vaguely remembered a lot of these. But, yeah, I don't really know what else to say besides, like, it was a good match. They had a lot of great spots. They were telling a lot of story. That's another thing I'm noticing with some of these, like, what was I saying to myself earlier? When I was saying, like, I can see why people feel so nostalgic for a lot of this stuff. Because first of all, I feel like the matches were like twice as long as they are today, or at least the average match. Like, these matches were so they just felt so long. But if you remember, like, I kind of vaguely remember some of the stuff, but I would imagine you remember the build up, remember the matches before, because usually it's not so much like today. They have some today, but it's not like so much today. Like, when you were in a program with someone, you went for a while. You have a history, recent, going back and forth before the big payout. So if you remember up to these points, these matches have so much fucking story in them. They're working specific areas. There's just so much emotion in the way that they sell and everything. I don't know. That was my takeaway as I got to this point and I was watching the matches. As I was watching some of the older ones, I'm like, dude, I kind of get why people are like the new stuff is shit. I don't think it's shit, but
But you
I can
understand
see
the idea
why.
behind, yeah. Because different.
this
That's it.
shit, not even remembering everything, the nostalgia of it just feels so damn different. It just feels different, and that's what I got from them. I remember the Razor Ramones and the Shawn Michaels going back and forth, and watching this kind of like took me back to that moment a little bit as like a little kid. So I fucking get it, dude. It was a good match, and Shawn Michaels does oversell a lot of shit. Anytime I saw him on the screen, I keep trying to like check out what he said about like I oversold a lot with everybody. So
Okay. Yeah. So that's I said at the beginning of this is probably going to be more nostalgia for me personally than anything else. Everybody else has their own list, I am sure, but everyone has one, but this one is mine. Number 7, Bret Hart versus Mr. Perfect, SummerSlam '91. This one, I know I've been saying moments, and earlier when we talked about Rey Mysterio, Kurt Angle, I said that it was a great match. But the moment for me is the fact that I felt like it was like one of the greatest openers of all time. This, a lot of people may not remember this, which is why it sticks out in my mind. But Bret Hart and Mr. Perfect at the time was a dream match. That was the match that everyone thought, what would happen? This is the one dream match that could happen in the company that never really happened. It's kind of hard to do dream matches now in WWE because there's so much programming that you run out of booking options. Everybody wrestles everybody all the time. But back in these days, like for instance, this is SummerSlam '91, we didn't have Raw, we didn't have SmackDown, we had superstars, we had the occasional special. You could keep your roster apart from each other for long periods of time. Remember, Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker were in the WWE 10 years before they ever touched each other. That can't happen today. But back then, you were able to, because of the programming and baby faces and heels and keeping to a regimen, there were certain superstars that never touched and never crossed paths. People forget that Bret Hart, for the beginning of his WWE career, was a heel. He wasn't a babyface. He became babyface after the tag team run with Neidhart. When he was done with the Hart Foundation and Jimmy Hart, he turned into a singles babyface. And that's when this dream match became a possibility. So people were like, wow, they're really such good workers and such good wrestlers. I wonder what would happen. And I remember hearing a lot of the Southern wrestlers who always looked at WWE like cartoon wrestling. You know, it's not real wrestling. It's like that kiddie carnival ride bullshit. But they looked at this match and went, holy fuck, that's a wrestling match. That's a wrestling match. That's a match that could have main evented any card in the world. And it was in WWE, and it shocked them. And I would love, did you get a chance to watch this match? Because I would love to kind of, you just said a second ago about the nostalgia factor. Take away the nostalgia factor for just a second. But I wanted to ask you, when you watched these guys work and the way that they worked and how big and expressive they were, like Mr. Perfect selling, right? He's taking big bumps and doesn't this kind of, I was watching it back when I put it on this list. Remember I told you about Shawn, that we thought Shawn was overdoing it. Shawn was like, no, but that's how I used to bump back in the day. Well, this is Perfect back in the day. Are you seeing the way he's bumping for Bret? That shit was fun. He's cartwheeling, he's spinning, he's inside out, he's hitting turnbuckles and bouncing in the middle. He was doing all that shit.
yeah, they were bouncy. They were bouncy for sure. For sure. But one of the, up until this point, if I'm not mistaken, this is the third Bret Hart match that you've had on here, if I'm not mistaken. At this point. Right? Is it the third one?
Yeah.
Yes. The stand, like, don't get me wrong, this match was insane, but for me, when I'm watching it, my standout is like, God damn, dude, Bret. There's a reason why Bret was number one. This guy, it just didn't really matter who he was in the ring with. He just shined. And with Mr. Perfect on the other end, I don't have a big memory of Mr. Perfect. Like I remember vaguely, but to see him like work with Brett, oh my god! Again, this was another one of those high intensity matches.
Yep. This is it's continuous motion.
Yeah,
They just kept it moving, kept it moving, kept it moving. This was a coming out party for Bret Hart. This was one of the matches where, okay, the ball got rolling because it was next year in '92 when he won his first WWE Championship, beating Ric Flair in Saskatoon. So like this was the coming out party for Bret Hart. Like we talked earlier about Lesnar and The Rock. Like this was the match that he had. The perfect match was the match where he stood out and people said, "Oh baby, this guy's the real fucking deal." I wonder whatever happened to that Bret Hart kid. What did he end up doing with his career? I heard he did all right. Just don't mention Bill Goldberg around him. That's it, and then he's straight. Number 6, just outside of the top 5. And before I say what it is, I want you, Dave, to understand that I did not put this on the list specifically because I was trying to pop you.
pause. That sounded mad gay.
Out of context, okay? Because I know where your heart is with this match. But to be fair, it's in my heart as well. This is one of my favorite matches, period, of all time. It just happens to be out of SummerSlam. And this is the infamous Test versus Shane McMahon Greenwich Street Fight in 1999. This is one of my favorite matches of all time because I said it that night in 1999. I'm saying it now. In August of 99, I said it. And in August of 2025, I'm saying it. That fucking match had zero business being that fucking good. It was such a throwaway fucking match. This was
his first match, Shane?
Yes.
Yeah,
this
was
was
the one
the
that made him.
this
is the
was
one
the
that
first
made his
one
matches so special.
with the Mean Street Posse and fighting for fucking Stephanie's love and affection and this all of this shit is just this was such a throwaway situation and it turned out being one of the greatest fucking things ever of all time. And the person that it made is the person that I didn't think it was supposed to make. I really believe like Test was the one that I think they wanted to come out of this and go, okay, he's going to go next level. This is the guy moving forward, right? We're going to wrap around him. And the person I felt like came out of this match a dog was Shane McMahon.
Shane O'Mac.
Shane O'Mac coming to
got
the
a fan out of me after this one, man.
Oh, baby, you was on his bandwagon moving forward. That was it. You were a Shane McMahon guy at that point. And I was just like,
it was just cool to see him like get it. You know what I mean? Like he just gets it. He may not be the most athletic guy in the world. He may not be the greatest wrestler, but he just kind of understood how to leverage whatever strengths you have and make it look good. That dude, and obviously back in that day, right? When in doubt, kill yourself.
Yeah. When in doubt.
When in doubt, kill yourself.
That's it.
And you'll be fine. And he adopted that all the way through his career.
The picture frame shot. You remember the picture frame shot with the bam, the big glass and everything? And
yup. Say what you want. In wrestling, there are those people throughout every generation who's known to like you go into the match going, oh shit, they're gonna kill themselves. They're gonna do something. Infamous Mankind. Infamous Jeff Hardy. But for Shane to be a part of that group is kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy.
I remember one person told me one time, is Shane McMahon one of the greatest high flyers in WWE history? And I'm like, he's got to be in the conversation. He has to be.
Talk about it.
You can't sit him down. You can't dismiss him. You can't. He's got to be at the table. He's got to be in the conversation. And that's so weird to have. Guy, and it started it started here. This was it. And I'll never forget that audience reaction when it was over. And I don't know if anybody else knows this. Wayne doesn't remember this. Obviously, she was little. But in 1999, what was Wayne was like? Wayne is our baby sister, the youngest one. She was 4 years old when this happened, and for whatever reason, no matter what theme I played, her favorite theme was Test. She would go nuts. You know how Sam reacts to stuff that she likes? Wayne would go nuts. We are, boom, here we go. Boom, here we go again. And Tessa's music was the shit. It was awesome. That match had no fucking business being that fucking good.
It was fire.
It was
so good.
phenomenal. One of my favorite
For
matches
both
of all
of them.
time.
For both of them.
That match stands up. You could put that match on Raw right now and it would steal the fucking show. That was an amazing fucking match between those two guys. And the Mean Street Posse. Let's give them some goddamn respect. They took some serious fucking bumps in this fucking match, too. They took some serious fucking bumps. Number 5, the beginning of what would become one of the most legendary feuds in WWE history. Mm-hmm. Mankind and The Undertaker in the Boiler Room Brawl. Now, I gotta be honest. I know you have seen your fair share of Mankind Taker matches. Have you ever seen, up until now, the Boiler Room Brawl? Was that your first time seeing it?
I remember it vaguely.
Okay.
But remember, when you watch these things, dude, I'm small.
This was 96, so you're like 8.
Yeah, to me that's small, dude.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
I'm in my own bag. I'm watching. I'm getting the splash of this stuff. I'm not really fully attentive to it.
Yeah,
my back is turned to the TV, playing games on another smaller TV in the corner.
There you go.
So, yeah,
Double Dragon Battletoads all day long.
Yeah, but this one, you know what? I correct me if I'm wrong, but to me, it's what's so impressive about this. It's like, yeah, Mankind is gonna, like we just talked about, is gonna kill himself, right?
When in doubt, kill yourself.
But Taker, and again, please correct me if I'm not saying this correctly, but like, it's a little out of character for Taker to be in these type of brawls, or as we know that feud to continue, as I would classify these matches as like pretty hardcore.
Yes.
And I just wouldn't classify Undertaker as a hardcore wrestler, but in this series of bouts between him and Mankind, I mean, you got to at least put the tag on him, cuz they went pretty hardcore, especially in this one.
Yeah, so that's actually one of the it's funny to say. It's weird to hear out loud. But when Mick was looking for work, when his WCW contract was up and he went to ECW, Mick was looking for another opportunity. It was Jim Ross, it was Pat Patterson, it was Jim Cornette, it was a few people who brought Mick to Vince's attention, and Vince didn't like him. He didn't like the look, he didn't like the style, he didn't like anything about him, but he didn't know him either. So they had a meeting. It went pretty okay. He was going to give him a chance. He was going to give him an opportunity. And that's where the Mankind thing started. They came up with the concept with the mask and everything, and they came up with the character of him being this demented soul and just like a basement dweller, and he was like psychotic. He pulled his own hair out. He stabbed himself with like he was just a maniacal fucking, as Cornette would put it, a very Michael Myers-like character. The thing about the hardcore style you're talking about is that was Cactus Jack's style. But they didn't want him to be Cactus Jack. So in Mick's mind, Cactus was very famous as a character for inflicting damage. Even if it hurt himself, he would inflict damage. For whatever reason, as the Mankind character, he felt Mankind's character was always strongest when he was receiving the damage, not so much giving. So, as a hardcore wrestler, when he wrestled the regular matches, yes, he would be aggressive. Like when he had jobbers or enhancement talents, he would be a little bit more aggressive, but he wanted to cause more pain. So, Mankind was a character that could take a beating like nobody else. And The Undertaker was a character that dealt out damage like nobody else. It was a yin and yang. So the beautiful part about the Boiler Room Brawl is that it forced The Undertaker to do something he never really did, which was take crazy bumps. Taker didn't take crazy bumps. Taker barely bumped. in the beginning of his career in the 90s in the WWE, he never really fell down. And then as the mid-90s came and he started fighting more giants, he'd fall down a little bit more, take a few more bumps here and there, but he wasn't really having classic wrestling matches where it's feed, up, down, all that stuff. He got a chance to do it with Mick because, as Taker said, they will believe it when he hits me. When he hits me, they believe it because he's that crazy, he's that wild. That's the opposite to the Undertaker. Taker is dark and sinister, but he's calculating and he's cold. He is without feeling. Mankind feels everything. The problem is he feels everything all at once, and it drives him fucking insane to the point where the pain numbs him. So when you beat on Mankind, you're helping him. That's the Boiler Room Brawl. That's how that is to be explained. Mankind is a character that revels in shit like that. And I think, and I mentioned it to you on the rundown, the most beautiful part about that match, what makes it so unique, it didn't have commentary in the Boiler Room. They didn't start talking about the match until they left. So it's all natural sounds. It's the piping, it's the weapons, it's the grunting, it's the breathing heavy. It feels like a fight, like a brawl between two individuals. And then, of course, there's that unfortunate ending when they make their way outside of the Boiler Room into the ring, and then Paul Bearer does the unthinkable and does the turn and leaves the Undertaker, becomes full heel with Mankind, and eventually with Vader, excuse me. That one caught up to me. I'm not editing that out. Fuck it. We're natural human beings. But that's how that happened with the Boiler Room Brawl, and that to me is why it's one of the biggest moments in history, because it brought out the best in both individuals, and we would continue to see that throughout their rivalry, ending, of course, with one of the greatest hardcore moments in history in the Hell in a Cell, which would happen about 2 years after this match. On and off, these motherfuckers fought for years, and that's where it culminated, but it begins here. I know they had a Survivor Series match. Was it Survivor Series? No, I think this was the first match here, and Survivor Series 96 was another rematch that they had. But this was the beginning of the rivalry between these two. Number 4 was a big moment for an obvious reason. This was Shawn Michaels and Triple H in 2002. This was the return of Shawn Michaels. This was a moment we never thought we'd see again. 4-year absence with the broken neck. We thought for sure we had seen Shawn Michaels' last days, and then they teased it, and they teased it, and they teased it, and for years.
This was Jesus, Shawn Michaels, wasn't it?
Like ultra religious.
Like this is when he didn't want to do. Like, remember there was a time where he was kind of like floating around, but didn't want to do the DX thing because of his beliefs.
Yeah, this was way before any of that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I saw him wrestling in the jeans, and I'm like, oh, I wonder if this was that time phase. When
no, he's super religious Shawn Michaels here, for sure.
Oh, okay.
But that's he found the God thing during the 4-year absence. So the reason for there's a reason for everything this fucker does. The reason for the jeans is because they were legit in the conversations. When you hear them talk about that match now, they're being legit. They didn't know if Shawn could have a match. They were not sure at all as to how this was going to go. He had taken bumps. Shawn at the time owned his own wrestling company in Texas, where he was the general manager of it, on screen, but he was the booker and everything like that. And he had taken a few bumps on that show, which was what got the ball rolling as to whether or not he could come back. But he hadn't had a full match yet. And so they were legitimately nervous on how this was going to go, including Triple H telling a story about how they were backstage and Shawn Michaels' mother, who came to the show to watch the show, confronted Triple H and basically begged her, please don't hurt him. Please don't hurt him. Please. And when he told that story, he choked up because it's not like he didn't have enough pressure going into this match with easily his best friend in the world. Now his mom's like, please keep this motherfucker safe. Don't break him, please. So he's shitting bricks. He's like, oh, this is going to either be really fucking good or really bad. I don't know what's going to happen. And so the reason for the jeans is lower expectations. He didn't want to go out there looking like Shawn Michaels. because he wasn't
Right.
sure if he could be Shawn Michaels. He wanted to lower the bar as much as he could. So that's why he's got the shirt off. He's got the cowboy boots. He's got the jeans on. It's a street fight, and that's how he dressed, like a street fight. Whereas Triple H came in full gear, which again was a great perception because Shawn is supposed to be the one who's not sure. Triple H is supposed to be the one who doesn't give a shit. I'm gonna hurt him no matter what. So he came full gear, ready, loaded for bear. So that to me is a standout moment because this was not only was it a return, but what a fucking match. To come back, as Shawn said it great on the promo after, because they were feuding after this. He goes, I'm the kind of guy that after 4 years of not doing this, came back and showed that I was still better than you. That I could not do it for 4 years and still come into this ring and beat you. It's like Jesus Christ. It's like that's the kind of shadow you're living in. So this was an outstanding match. It was an outstanding moment. And looking back on it, Shawn Michaels' comments about that match is true. He said when Triple H hit me with earlier in the match, there's a backbreaker spot they do where Triple H just fucking nails him with a backbreaker, and he never felt it. And he goes, that's when I knew, oh, I can do this. And then you could start to see his attitude change in the ring, and he starts perking up, and he starts calling all kinds of fucking spots, and Triple H is just doing shit. And even stupid shit like, I don't know if you remember the spot, he throws him into the steps or whatever, and then Shawn runs all the way around the ring and then bulldogs him back on the steps again. He was just in his bag. He was just feeling himself at this point. He's just like, oh, I'm not a broken down piece of shit. Let's have a match, bro. Let's do this. We in New York. Let's go nuts right now. And he was just, they pulled a ladder out. He did an elbow through a table. He was feeling himself. They did the sledgehammer spot for the storyline because that was the plan. That was the plan in case the match ended up sucking. That's the finish, so that at least, at the very least, if the match is not good, we've got the big finish at the end with the sledgehammers. Gets people talking. It gives them an out. It takes some time off and heal from whatever happens to the match. But the match ended up being fire. So it is what it is. I'm going to get killed for this next one, but allow me to explain. Number 3. I have the first TLC match on here. That's Edge and Christian, the Dudleys, the Hardys, TLC match, SummerSlam 2000. I wrote here, no explanation needed, the original and the classic. That's why it's on here.
Why are you going to get killed?
I'm going to kill because I'm the guy that everybody knows is the guy who hates the multi-man ladder match.
Yeah, but you're also the guy on record stating that this is not only the first one, not only your favorite, but the reason why the rest of them suck.
There you go. So there's my explanation. He just read that.
I was gonna say, like,
That's
you're
exactly
on. That's
it.
what I understand. Like, this
'Cause
just rewatching this just reiterated why you hate it so much.
Because it don't look like this. This is the way that this.
And
shit
to
is
be
supposed
fair,
to
if we
look.
can be completely fair, this doesn't look like this. Because if this was the fifth one, I think you'd have the same feeling.
Yeah.
I
No,
just
when they
think
got
because of the moment,
yeah,
it was what it was.
this was the first one. These were the same teams that were in TLC 3 and TLC 4, and I didn't like them because I had already seen what this
it's one
could
of
look
those-
like.
Yeah, this is one of those first time see it. I can't believe that happened, and now I'm good off of it.
Yeah.
Like, there's really not
Like,
much you
that's-
can do.
yeah.
And it was a big payout too, right? Because you have arguably one of the greatest moments for tag team wrestling
Yeah.
with the best tag team wrestlers that you could argue. I know if you're like New Japan people, there's people that you might like, blah blah blah. We're talking about this stage. The best tag teams all in one match, all doing their signature taunts, all doing their signature moves, all doing it with their signature people coming in and interrupting the match. Like, this was the ultimate, like, you could say, all-star game.
Yep.
And after that, I mean, what else do you have? Like, the tag teams aren't the same. Usually if they have a tag team one, it's a bunch of people put together. There's no chemistry. So now you're comparing peak, like absolute peak tag team TLC match wrestling to everything else that's just kind of falling in line and has the same name but just can't live up to the hype. So this might be the best one, but also the one that killed everyone after it.
Absolutely, they raised the bar on this one, and if I'm not mistaken, this match won match of the year in 2000, and that's saying something because 2000 had a lot of great ones. But by the way, of the 6, only Devon would not go on to be a world champion after this program with the 3 teams. Only Devon. Everyone else became world champion after this. And main evented pay-per-views and took over the industry after that. So that'll tell you their level of commitment and talent.
I know he killed himself many times after that, but there's something special about that first Jeff Hardy highest point of the ladder swanton on straight through the tables onto the floor. That just like it hurts every time I see it. I feel like he wasn't completely numb yet when he did that one. All the other crazy stuff, I don't think he can feel his body.
Well, someone should tell him that. Someone should tell him that because he did it again on Sunday.
Oh my god!
This past Sunday, they did it again. They were in a 4-way ladder match and found another way to innovate. They came up with something brand fucking new on Sunday to the point where like I popped. I was like, that's fucking brilliant. Like, that's fucking amazing. And I sent you the pay-per-view. You got to see it. When you get a chance. I'm going to watch it. Over time.
I'm going to watch
it. Yeah.
No, I'm going to watch it.
When you get to to that ladder match, you're going to see what I'm talking about. You're going to go, oh, my God. I'm like, they managed. These motherfuckers are one of the most innovative motherfuckers ever of all time. They managed to find a new way to do the same shit over and over and over. It's amazing. So I'm not gonna spoil it, but yeah, that's what happened. You got to see it. Number 2, we're back to Mr. SummerSlam, Bret Hart. Bret Hart and the British Bulldog. 1992 Wembley Stadium, that place that AEW tried to run into the ground. This is when WWF was popping over there in London. They sold out the stadium and put the Intercontinental title match in the main event. It was Bret the Hitman Hart and what looked like the British Bulldog. We have learned since then that the British Bull, I don't know if you know this story, but the British Bulldog was on some shit. He was fucked up. He was on some shit. He was messed up. And Bret basically went in front of thousands of fans at Wembley Stadium and had a match with himself. This motherfucker.
Wait, so you're telling me he was high?
I'm not making any allegations as to what exactly that was.
Oh, so it's one of those.
It's one of those things. Enough. So Bret didn't want to, insult the man while he was dead. But there was some influence.
They definitely went, but there were some moments where I'm like, ooh, that's weird. Like, do you remember? I think he Irish whipped him into the ropes, and British Bulldog went to pick him up and just completely like fucking let him go, and Bret got like wrapped up in the ropes and shit.
Yes,
that moment I'm like, ooh, so one of two things: either he caught a good shot somewhere in the back of the ribs and really lost him, or something else is wrong and I don't know. So you saying that kind of makes a little bit more sense.
Yes. So he didn't want to disrespect the man while he was alive, but Bret goes, just trust me on this. There was a lot of in-ring communication for that match, but it's still regarded. It's his number 2 on my list.
Bret still went though, man. That's my point, bro. I'm gonna have to go on a little bit of a Bret Hart run,
bro.
Put some respect on.
There's so many moments,
and I'm starting to understand why he's pissed. Why he's been pissed for so long, because of the level he was doing it. There's no reason why his situation should have ended the way that it did.
Look,
I know. Another conversation for another day.
We could do a top 20 on just Bret, to be honest with you.
Dude, I would love to do a top 20
matches
I've been watching. He's that fucking guy, dude.
Jesus, he had a match with Hakushi that would like rival any match right now. It's just like, Jesus. Bret had a very good point, not for nothing. He goes, I'm not going to sit here and destroy anybody. I'm not going to put anybody under the, I'm not going to disrespect anybody. He goes, but I want you all to think about this. A lot of wrestlers in this generation will tell you, hey, I grew up idolizing Shawn Michaels and what he did. He goes, and there are people who go, I grew up idolizing Bret Hart and what he did. He goes, and I want you to take a look at those types of wrestlers. Look at the ones who mimic and copy Shawn, and then look at the ones who mimic and copied me. and you tell me who the better wrestlers are. That fed off of
Talk your shit.
that fed off.
Talk
You know what I'm
your
saying?
shit,
Like he's
yeah.
like, think about that. Think of all the performers that you see now and where they are and how they perform when they base it off of him and then when they base it off of me. And you tell me who the better workers are, who the better wrestlers are. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that out there. You see, it ain't wrong. Speak your shit.
You can even argue because I think I remember you saying like Sean always sought to be the number one guy, but never really fell. He was always a top guy, but he was never like the guy.
Yeah.
Dude, when you got a Brett in front of you, man, who the fuck can do it? It's hard. It's hard. Some people came close, but I would even say when The Rock and Stone Cold were going up against him, Brett still just shined, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I gotta visit his catalog.
This is why
man.
not Sean. This is why in '96 when Sean beat Brett for the belt at WrestleMania, Brett took time off. He didn't stay on the show. He left. He wanted to show the office. He goes, "You watch and you see what happens. You want to put the belt on Sean? Great. I'm gonna step off. I'm gonna go do my own thing. Sean's gonna pull the wagon. He's gonna be the champion. He's gonna draw the houses. He's gonna do all that stuff, and you'll see." And Sean broke his back trying to carry that company. Almost literally, he lost his smile. Remember? And that's when Brett goes, "Oh, so what I told you was going to happen happened. Okay, no, that's fine. Yeah, I'll take the belt back at SummerSlam. Sure, why not?" That's not even on this list. Taker and Bret Hart with Shawn Michaels as the referee, one of the all-time great moments in SummerSlam history as well. I'm telling you, we could do a whole 20 on just Bret.
We might have to one time. That'd be dope. I
I
don't know about 20, but we could do 10
I could do
for
like
sure.
a 10 for sure. Yeah, 10 for sure. I'm interested in that, just to watch the matches back, to be honest with you. Number one on my list. Number one with a bullet. I'm sorry. You guys can disagree with me all you want. Feel free to make your own list. This one is mine. But I have never, in the history of my entire life, I've been watching wrestling my entire life. My entire life, I have been watching wrestling. And never have the planets aligned the way that they did for me in 1998 at in August of New York City for SummerSlam, because it was the perfect fucking storm. First and foremost, it's 98. It's the summer of 98. I'm staying at my grandma's house in New York City. I'm in the Vladeck Apartments. I'm in Lower East Side Manhattan. I'm in the heart of it, right? While they're building towards SummerSlam 98. And that city, I don't think I've seen it since, to be honest with you, because I live here full time now, and I don't see it anymore. But that year, for whatever reason, they went hard on the promotion. It was everywhere. Trains, buses, billboards. You couldn't go to Coney Island. You couldn't go to Times Square without seeing the fucking cartoon image of Stone Cold and The Undertaker in the main event and all this other stuff. It was fucking everywhere. And wrestling at that time, the Attitude Era, was beyond pop culture. It was not a niche. Everybody was talking about the WWF in 1998. Everybody. So you're going to school hearing about it. You're going to summer camp hearing about it. You can't go to a fucking bodega without seeing the flyer and the pictures and people getting ready to fucking Stone Cold Steve Austin and Undertaker. This is the talk of the talk. There were people, and this is no lie, I've seen it with my own eyes. That building in Madison Square Garden in 1998 sold out. I think they said it sold out in like 90 minutes. The tickets went on sale and it was gone in like an hour and a half. There were people lined up in front of Madison Square Garden by the entrance trying to get tickets from people who were coming in. They were trying to throw money at them. What'd you pay? $200. I'll give you $400 right now for that ticket. Like, they're trying to get into this building. When I try to tell you that there was police barricading the entrances so that people didn't rush the building and tear their way into the garden. This was the hottest ticket in town. This was it. This was the place to be. This was Muhammad Ali. This was Tyson. This was the must-see event of the year at Madison Square Garden. The Mecca, the place of all places. And it built up to this great card. To me personally, one of the best SummerSlams top to bottom in history. And it goes up. And I sent you the match. I will never again in my life experience the entrances and the opening to a match the way that I experienced this one. And I've heard Steve Austin and Taker talk about the match since. And I always felt in my heart that Austin's pop, his entrance, they lowered the volume. I felt like that. And the reason I felt that way is because even though the pop didn't sound as loud as it looked like it was, because it looked like the audience went nuts, but it didn't feel that way because of the audio, I started putting it together. They lowered it because, for whatever reason, the audience volume was a certain way, but then Jim and JR are screaming their audio. They're screaming at the top of their lungs. So I'm like, they must have lowered it. That has to be why they're screaming. I find out later from Steve Austin's podcast that's exactly what happened. Because apparently they had an issue with the audio during Taker's entrance. When they did Taker's entrance, the building was so loud, the microphones that were ringside on the handhelds couldn't pick up the audio streaming from the commentators. And they couldn't catch the audio from Howard Finkel. The building was too loud. It was fucking with the equipment. So they had to lower it down. So by the time it got to Steve, you couldn't really hear it. But from everybody that was in that building, and I knew quite a few people that were in it during that pay-per-view, they have told me it was ear-piercing loud. Like it physically hurt your ears. People were that fucking loud. It was one of the biggest fucking ovations for both of them, to be honest with you. One of the biggest ovations in the history of WWE ever. And the match itself was a good match. It didn't deliver the way they wanted to, because now we have heard the story why, that within the first 5 minutes of the match, Steve Austin got a concussion. There was I don't know if you heard that story before, but there's a spot at the beginning of the match where Steve is throwing hands with Taker, and he gives Taker a boot to the gut, and Taker bends forward. Steve goes to grab him, and Taker, you know how Taker, when he's doing the dead man, he just stands up and does the hair flip so that you can see his face. Steve comes in close to grab him. Taker does the big hair flip, and he headbutts. The back of Taker's head hit Steve right in the fucking jaw, right in the fucking mush, and knocked him completely the fuck out for like several seconds. They had to walk. Taker had to walk him through the next steps of the match because he was completely out of it. He would eventually come to, and they had a match, but he wrestled that whole match essentially drunk. It was just, his equilibrium was everywhere. They still managed to have a really good match, but that hype and that build-up, I will never, to this day, and I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it, the Jim Ross audio of him saying, never in the history of the WWF has a champion ever entered the ring to that ovation. He looked at King, he's like, I defy you, King. Look it up. I literally felt this building shake. And that's the description people who were in the building told me. It felt, when Steve came out, it felt like the building was literally moving left to right. It was that loud inside that building. I can't even begin to imagine what that must have felt like to be in the ring with that much noise. Ever. I mean, to me, it's the number one moment. It's the hottest time period in the history of the company, with the two hottest performers of that era in the hottest city in the world, in the most famous arena it could possibly be in. It was picture perfect for all the elements. So for me, that's the easy number one for me. I'll never be able to experience that ever again in my life. That's the first time I've ever tried black tar cocaine or heroin or whatever. That's the only time I'll ever get that rush ever again in my life. I didn't feel that when I had the birth of my son. I'll never get that fucking feeling back ever again. So that's my explanation for it. But I kind of hyped it up for you before I sent it to you, which usually dampers it for people when I do that. But did you get the idea of what I was talking about with those entrances? Like, did you get a chance to feel any of that?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you have a lot of nostalgia behind it, so it's I feel kind of flat trying to just explain.
Well, no, you're only really
But
explaining like what you experienced again once because you're being the theme of this so far has been you being refreshed
right,
on
but it
most of
takes
the
a
stuff.
lot. Like that was the beautiful thing about this time, and I mean, don't get me wrong, we still have it today, but like some of the stories were just kind of different, and that build up was so special, and those moments are so special. So to answer your question, like yeah, that high energy, big time match, you could definitely feel like this was definitely a payout. These guys were going at it the entire time. It was a great match, a lot of physicality. They were beating the shit out of each other, and you can tell as someone who doesn't remember any of the stuff that was kind of going on prior to it. There's definitely some heat behind every punch. There's emotion going on, but like I said, it feels very flat when I say it because you have the memory and the thought, and I think that's what makes it so special. So if to me, if it's an amazing match, I can imagine your explanation of it is just significantly different.
Well, my wife gets thoroughly annoyed with me because she, according to her, I have a way of hyping things to the point where when she sees it, she doesn't give a shit about it because it's like you present it better than they present it. So now when I see their presentation, I go pfft.
Yeah.
So she's like, yeah. She got annoyed with me. We're recording this Tuesday, the 22nd. She got annoyed with me yesterday because we were watching Raw, and there was like two things that happened. So I will be really quick, but there was a promo shot of MetLife because SummerSlam next week will be at MetLife Stadium. This will be this is our third time in MetLife. I think it's going to be Lily's like fourth, but it's our third time in MetLife. And Becky Lynch is going to be defending the Intercontinental title at MetLife. And she's coming down to the ring. And she grabs the microphone to cut a promo, and I instantly paused it. And she said, "Why'd you pause it?" I said, "Because I already know what she's going to say. And what she's going to say is that she's going to put over herself. She's going to put over the fact that she's better than Lyra, that Lyra's a hypocrite for whatever reason she's going to give, and that she's going to make her famous because it's MetLife. And Becky's biggest moment in her life happened at MetLife. Becky Two Belts, when she won both titles in the main event of WrestleMania. So that's exactly what she's going to bring up as her evidence. She's going to put the kid over and make her a star, all of this other stuff. And I said, that's basically the whole promo. And if she doesn't do that promo, she's an idiot because it's right there. It's low-hanging fruit. And I unpaused it, and the next 3 minutes was her saying word for word exactly everything I just said. And then she just rolled her eyes. She was like, all right, yeah, okay, that makes sense. It was whatever. Later in the show, New Day's having a match, and Xavier Woods does like a... You remember Jeff Jarrett's strut? Where he would like the little side to side with his fingers. And Jeff Jarrett does it, and people know him for that from WWE, but the originator was Don Fargo. It's called the Fargo strut. So I'm doing laundry. I'm folding clothes or whatever. She's on the bed chilling on her phone. And I see Xavier Woods bust out a Fargo strut. So I said, oh, look, a Fargo strut. I haven't seen one of those in a long time. 2 seconds after I said it, Graves goes, "Oh, Xavier busted out an old Fargo strut." And my wife just looked at me and goes, "You're fucking annoying." He's like, "You're fucking annoying," because I always say it just before they do. So, yeah, as far as the nostalgia goes, that's kind of how that goes, yeah. There's too much in here. It's the only thing that's really in here. I every time I learn something else new, it takes the place of something else, and I don't want to lose any of those memories, so... I'm trying to stay as stupid as I possibly can. Anyway, next week, I said it already, I'll say it again. Next week on Wednesday the 30th, 7 p.m., right here on social media, on the official Facebook, on the official YouTube, on the official Twitch. I got an error message, by the way, on StreamYard concerning my Facebook connection. I'm going to have to look into that. But we'll be ready to go by next week. I'm going to be sharing out the flyer for SummerSlam tomorrow, so you guys will be able to find officially where to come looking for the show. It's going to be dope. It's going to be a great time. We knocked out the SummerSlam nostalgia tonight. So next week, it's just going to be the 2-night review. We're going to be talking about all the matches taking place, what's going to go down. If we have a few minutes, maybe we can get some stuff from our guests. Other than that, I'm keeping it straight to the 2 nights. I do not want a 4-hour show, so we're just going to keep it fucking straight to the fucking matches, and we're going to have a good time. So if you guys want to join in on that, that's great. Secondly, keep checking out the YouTube channel. I cannot express enough how interactive that has become for us. I'm going to spill the beans here, but, you know, we've gotten so much engagement on the YouTube that it's starting to get me thinking that monetization might be very much possible for us. So please continue to go over to the YouTube channel, like, subscribe, hit the bell, get notifications, tell your friends about it. Help your boys out, because the faster we can get to those goals, it's gonna be a crazy day when we get accepted into that little area, when monetization starts becoming a thing. That's gonna be really dope. So keep going to the YouTube channel. I've dedicated all my resources to the YouTube channel at this point. So keep supporting, keep going out there. As a fresh reminder, by the way, I haven't said this in a while, and I think I should start saying it every episode because it just would be smart. We still do have a merch store. I know I don't talk about it all that much on the show, but I do promote it on the social media and let people know. We still do have the merch store, ajoursinii.com. Very simple website. Shirts, cups, yoga mats, the whole shebang, beach towels, drawers. You can get some socks with my logo on it. Do whatever you need to do. I don't even care what you use it for. Just go ahead and buy. Head over to the ajoursinii.com. The link tree has links to everything also. If you guys, for whatever reason, can't do the YouTube, and that happens sometimes, there are other ways and other methods in which to listen to the shows. Matter of fact, ever since we've done the YouTube, for whatever reason, our Podbean numbers have gone up too. So everything is tracing back to the YouTube channel. So just keep going to that, guys. So that's it. Next week is full-on SummerSlam. We're going to be doing SummerSlam week on the channel every day leading up to SummerSlam. I'm going to be clipping out these memories that we just talked about here today, spreading them out throughout the week. I've got some OUM minutes that I've already saved up to load up into the YouTube channel as well. So the content, boys and girls, is still coming out. I'm a little backed up on some of the shorts. I still have some Night of Champions and some Evolution clips and some of our Squid Game conversation that's going to be coming up in the next few days. So we're rocking. We're rocking right now on the YouTube channel. It's all going well. While I'm doing this, I'm taking my master's classes. So I'm doing that as well. So there's a lot of moving parts in my house right now. I somehow still have to be a husband and father too, so be patient with me. I'm trying to get it all done. So I'm gonna go eat. I think Dave's gonna go eat too. Yes. I think that's the point. Yes. So let's stop dragging this out. Thank you for listening. Thank you for downloading. Thank you for sharing. And of course, I just knocked out my microphone right at the end. Wait, can you hear me? There you go. Nope. Where we at? Here we go. What? Nope. Wow, I just slapped the shit out of my fucking wire.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
We're hearing the crash out.
We're yes, so I'm not going to repeat all that. Thank you so much for joining the show here tonight, and we will see you next week live on all of the social media. See you guys.
Mic drop. Wait a minute. This is too much. Cooking it like a pro. Wrap it up, everybody. Show's over.